stupid motherfucker. You don't know what the fuck is going on in that country. You read a fucking couple of headlines. Maybe you're watching Fox News or fucking listening to fucking Hannity. You're fucking wrong.
I appreciate and agree that
he was kings.
Actual lies and misinformation that shouldn't be allowed based on facts.
What are you talking about? You know what those people are going through? And let me tell you something, motherfucker. Our government used white Trump to support to help these people. We're helping train their fucking military, you dumb fuck. And some of the shit that's going on in this administration is hurting the fucking Ukrainians that are trying to fight for their own fucking sovereignty. And you up here spreading fucking misinformation with your dumb ass. It's fucking Russia that came away from the table. Because Ukraine came away from the table, it's because they want sovereignty. They're giving away everything. They were fucking attacked. Bitch, they've been attacked. You dumb motherfucker.
Patty's not having. Patty ain't having a good morning. What the fuck, Patty? Yay, Scotty!
Trump is doing great things.
Motherfucker, fuck Russia. Bitch.
Yeah, the thing is that my country is Russia, actually. So, Congressman, when you say shit like that, that's like so not true. Once you actually sit there and watch all the press conferences and all of the channel one,
Look at this shit crazy.
News,
Don't stop. Don't
and see
trip.
the generals and everybody else and what they say around negotiation or at any point, even negotiations or anything. Like, I don't know. People need to like actually start watching something else besides American news. You know, there is subtitles, there's translation now. Russia was not Russia's. I mean, that's not negotiations. That's the thing. When you use the term negotiations, that means you're giving something up and you're going to meet in the middle. Russia had demands, which was pretty much a full surrender, and giving up more of the land that they physically have right now. So that they have physically occupied right now. I don't get it why United States and a lot of these MAGAs and everybody else are just so like clapping up, you know, ass. Like, you guys have no fucking idea what's going on in that country, how people are living there, but you know, people are saying it's fucking great because, you know, he's powerful because Trump, you know, licked his boots.
Give me a heart attack. Where the cleanup?
Party. Party. Party, my the only one I have a crush on.
You're crazy.
I love OD. Can I come in with some facts?
Oh no, don't love me, please. I'm not. Don't love me.
Okay, I like you. Never mind.
Well, OD, you're not the only one that has a crush on Party. Let me just let you know.
Let's start the fight. Let's start the fight right now. What about next week? Let's start the fight now. Let's start the fun game. Let's do the old style way. Let's do the old style way. Let's start
Iran versus Israel, who are Party, okay?
Yeah, let's do it right now. Let's do it right now.
OD is a clubhouse legend. Can I come in with a few facts, please?
Go ahead, Al.
Thank you for that. I won't be very long. So, somebody had the incredible chutzpah to come on this stage and say that Iran hadn't attacked or threatened the United States. It's just mind-boggling. Apparently, people have forgotten that Iran took over the American embassy in 1979, murdered U.S. embassy diplomats, and held the rest hostage for over a year. It was known as the hostage crisis. It was a movie about it called Argo. It's a pretty good movie. That was 79. People have forgotten. The president of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, came to New York, the United Nations, in front of the world on September 22nd, 2008, and threatened to engulf the big Satan, us, you and me, the United States, in a great ball of fire. That's a nuclear bomb. They didn't have it yet. He then repeatedly threatened to engulf the little Satan. That's Israel in a ball of fire. That's a nuclear bomb. You guys perhaps have forgotten that Iran bombed the U.S. Marine barracks in 1983 and killed our Marines. You guys have forgotten this. You guys have forgotten that Iran attacked United States assets and installations 170 times in the past year and a half alone. And this is why we don't trust them, because the whole time they've been lying in their negotiation, which is why the president gave them a deadline. It's reasonable because of their tendency to stretch out the negotiations, as the other gentleman said, while developing a nuclear weapon. It was with a 60-day deadline. They were only attacked on day 61, as he very astutely pointed out. No, this Iranian quote-unquote revolutionary genocide regime that is hated by its own people, it's murdered hundreds of thousands of its own people. It's committed genocide all over the Middle East, as I keep telling you. There is genocide in Syria, genocide in Yemen. They're attempting to commit genocide against Israel. They've promised to wipe Israel off the map. They've promised to blow up the United States. This is why these negotiations are so fierce, and this is why Trump, happy to, and this is why the United States and the entire Western world, which does not want Iran to get a nuclear bomb, has given a green light to preventing this genocidal fundamentalist regime from getting nuclear weapons to threaten the entire world. I will end it there. I thank you. Thanks for
to respond to that is that I'm looking up engulfing a ball of fire, these terms I'm using. Nowhere is it found in Google. You cannot find that speech by Ahmadinejad where you post that. Looking up this. Yeah, I know. All normal. Normal, please. Post it in the chat. Normal, please. I'm not lying.
You're lying. I'm not telling you.
Normal, please do not interrupt.
Okay.
Okay,
fine.
Yeah. Okay. Don't interrupt me, please. I don't interrupt you. Please learn our dialogue.
No, Dean, you've got to stop being such a victim complex. It's pathetic.
Normal, please.
Behave.
Look.
Let me get my roller out.
It's your birthday. You can do whatever you want. Ruler whip or whatever. So the thing is that I'm searching that. I don't find a quote that he will engulf the great Satan with a ball of fire in a 2008 speech, as he mentioned. I don't find any of that terminology, engulfing a ball of fire or anything. And searching through ChatGPT AI, they said that there's never been a direct threat to mainland U.S. Now, if you're talking about U.S. installations in the region, well, Iran may see that as a threat to their interests, and that's in their region. But as far as attacking mainland U.S., attacking America, I don't see any specific threat of attacking America, nuking them particularly, which is my claim. They never never acknowledged having nuclear weapons. The U.S. official position as of March 27th by Tulsi Gabbard, of this year, that they believe that Iran does not have nuclear weapons. And so they've never threatened to nuke America. So, in talking about genocide, the country that is actually committing genocide as we speak is Israel. According to Holocaust survivors, genocide scholars, leading genocide journal, I forget the name of the journal, you can look it up, Dutch, American, Canadian, Israeli genocide scholars are unanimous on that this is a genocide. You'll find the articles up just a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or so. They're committing genocide. The world sees it. They're shooting people, killing people, the children left and right. The leaders the ministers are making these statements. So they're actively committed genocide for lies, not Iran. Iran's not committed genocide. Now they're funding wars, oppositions, and they're competing interests in Syria, and that's been going on for over a decade now. And other places, there are no black Yemenis, not black Yemenis, they're Arabs. They're darker skinned Arabs and lighter skinned Arabs. They tend to be darker because they're down in the south, but they're not black people. All right, you threw that in there to gain some sympathy for your cause, let alone talk about black people treated in Israel. But find that quote for me. Please put it in the chat so we can verify, because normally I find that you tend to make statements and they're not facts. You can't. You just have to prove it to us. Show us where it's at.
I'm going to do that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got you. So, all right.
And Eloma, can you speak, please, in the meantime, while Erica's speaking?
Don't respond to El Normal. El Normal, stop. Go ahead.
I'm going to wait for that.
Where's Erica?
Erica then took off.
It's very hard not to interrupt after Dan was saying so many things that are truly not fact. It's like very hard not to interrupt.
Well, you're an adult. You gotta learn how to do that. That's why
I was waiting. That's why I was waiting.
Okay.
But now when he finished, it's to say that you cannot find Iran threatening the United States and Israel. What are we talking about? They burn those flags every week in front.
Well, Iran has definitely said just recently that if United States gets involved, they're going to take out the U.S. military.
So how can you keep on talking something like that it's so untrue and saying that it's a fact that Iran did not threaten the United States? Come on, it's like all over the news. No, but Dan was saying it that he cannot find in Google. I don't know how he's choosing the search.
He's talking about a speech, Dave. He's talking about a speech. But yeah,
even that speech you can find.
I've heard the speech when
Yeah, you can find the speech easily. I don't know how he's using it.
The guy that was leading, it's not Hamas, but what's the other one over there?
Hezbollah.
It's Hezbollah.
Hezbollah. They took on, and they said it when after that whole situation and how Israel first responded, Iran was talking about, the United States needs to pay for this. Yeah, they definitely said stuff. Like I wouldn't sit here and lie. I didn't hear the conversation. I'm trying to respond to people. Okay, it's my birthday. I'm busy, so yeah.
Well, they were trying to say that this speech happened in 2000s, like early 2000s, 1990s, and this was something happened recently.
Oh, okay. See,
so there is a problem. Like a lot of times, like when you brought up the bombing in Lebanon, that happened because of our intervention, right? So they seen us as like, and that's where Hezbollah came from. Because back then there was no Hezbollah, it was just Shia Islamist groups, right? And their what is their guard called? Whatever. IRG.
The Iranian Revolutionary Genocide Regime, the IRGC.
Revolutionary.
Okay, stop the bullshit. It's like that. Yo, you just injected something that wasn't even.
Okay, it was meant as a comment. It's the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Yeah.
IRGC.
I'd like to jump in at some point.
With us intervening when it came to Lebanon and freaking Iran, like they seen us as like trying to provide some type of like shit against the Muslim community or the Druze militias. So like, yeah, you're gonna attack when you think somebody's in your backyard trying to fight. So like, or and then what you brought up the embassy? What happened during the embassy, bro?
When they took over the American embassy and killed the diplomats.
Why did they do that?
because it was a revolution in Iran. They moved in a Islamist fundamentalist government in 1979.
So let's deal with some facts.
Who was in charge at the time?
Yeah,
Jimmy Carter.
Right?
Okay.
At that time, the Shah was using their secret police to do certain things, right?
The Shah was in the U.S. for cancer treatment.
Okay, guys, Robert, because you haven't spoken, then Philip, and then Federer.
I was going to respond to Dean. You mentioned me by name. I need to respond.
No, you don't need to
No,
respond.
you are not going to talk to each other.
Right, I just wanted to.
Get retarded.
For the purposes
Yeah, hold on, Robert, sorry.
For the purposes of the room, I want to provide some background historically so we can begin having a frank discussion because we're all over the place. The United States' involvement in the 1979 Iranian Revolution was complex, ranging from supporting the Shah before the revolution to a perceived lack of support during and after it. The United States has previously played a significant role in restoring the Shah to power in 1953 and continued to provide support throughout his reign. However, the Carter administration's late encouragement of the Shah to implement reforms and its perceived reluctance to criticize him, even in the face of growing unrest, was seen as a failure to acknowledge the changing dynamics in Iran. After the revolution, the U.S. was seen as slow to adapt to the new regime and its perceived failure to support the Shah, particularly the decision to allow him to enter the U.S. for treatment, further complicating their relationships. And I'll read further excerpts, but that is the basis of the relationship between the United States and Iran. So we need to have everything in perspective. And this notion, I'll land with this, over the years, it's always been we need to prevent Iran from creating a nuclear military weapon. They've never done it though. They haven't done it. In the past 40, 50 years, it hasn't happened yet. They have not produced a weapon grade uranium and the elements that go into a nuclear weapon. It is not true. They have not gotten. They're at 60% now, right? And so this fake out that we've been over the years. Meanwhile, what damage has Israel inflicted in that region? What wars, what attacks have they issued in a proactive stance according to them? Countless. I mean, we can go on and on and on. They just decimated Palestine. Then they move over to Iran, right? They're attacking Iran. And our president, while having a military parade, knew all of this was happening. And so we have the trifecta. We have Mr. Putin, we have Mr. Netanyahu, and we have Donald Trump, all causing havoc on our planet right now. I'll let you.
I just want back, Commander, just one single fact. Thank you. So the governing body of International Atomic Weapons, the IAEA, I believe it stands for, issued a proclamation on June 9th, we can make that in the chat as well, that Iran was proceeding alarmingly towards the weaponization of its nuclear capabilities. And that is another one of the impetuses for the attack by Israel with the complete cooperation of the United States. In other words, they're being monitored as they are racing towards a nuclear weapon by the monitoring agency, the IAEA. That's on June 9th of this year, a few days ago.
I agree. They are racing towards a weapon, but there was certain things that they wanted negotiated with them when it comes to uranium enrichment. They said they would decrease the levels. They said, like, there's certain things that they said that they want to be able to, like I said before, they need it for infrastructure, right? So, like, the thing is, our country is saying zero tolerance. They said nothing. They're not going to have anything.
And then again, the whole reason why they got into the whole Tesla, like the guy that said earlier, the girls were Tesla, was because, again, Israel was not sharing the full messaging about whatever was going on because they had some feeling that Iran was still working on weapons. So again, if you want this actual stuff to be done, both parties, both members are going to have to put the actual truthness on the table. But unfortunately, every time we had it, or we were close to having it back in the 80s, before I was even fucking thought of, all of this was done and at least almost had it successfully. But unfortunately, you had someone in the part of Israel think that it was okay to assassinate their own president. So every single time we came close to a solution, we have someone else to solve the actual problem.
Laura, please, yeah. So, thank you. Philip has been waiting, also Fedo. Sorry, the first, Philip and then Fedo go first.
Okay. So I did have a question for Elmo, so I'll wait and hold my question.
I'll take it.
I know you will, but I can't because there are other people that want to speak. I'll come back. I'm sure. Hopefully, you can survive the game a little longer before you get kicked out to the goo, because there's only 3 of us. We can't bring you up anymore. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello, everybody. Happy Father's Day. Thank you for joining Politically Correct. To all those beautiful pink tickets down there, they look absolutely beautiful on you, but you would look so much prettier and so much more handsome if you just turned that and cashed that ticket in. So go ahead and catch that ticket in, click that link above, click on Politically Correct. Tell me, they have some dope rooms. I don't like to toot my own horn, but because today is my birthday, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna toot it, toot, toot. Anyway, we thank you for joining us. Happy Father's Day. We love you, all the men in the space, sending love, joy, peace, and happiness. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, who's next?
No, okay. The IAEA report was just mischaracterized, and this is part of consensus for embroiling the United States into war with this rhetoric. So for anybody that has bothered to read the IAEA report, the agency found that Iran is in non-compliance with NPT, right? A treaty that they voluntarily signed, right? And that was further rehashed with the Obama administration in the Iran nuclear deal, right? United States exited that agreement with Iran as consequence of United States unilaterally, for no reason, exiting the Obama negotiated deal, right? Iran has been decided, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, that's a different question, decided to partially halt the implementation of that agreement with Obama because Trump unilaterally exited it, right? So what the report says that it has found, this is specifically why it is declared in non-compliance. The agency found undeclared man-made radioactive particles. Because they are undeclared, the board of the agency voted Iran in non-compliance. According to them, they cannot determine whether any of this is related or not related to nuclear weapons development. IAEA has never said that Iran is quote-unquote racing towards a nuclear weapon, right? That is not the stance of the agency. And if we care so much about that agency, right, according to the agency itself, it issued multiple proclamations lately. Israel is violating, right, international law, specifically Geneva Convention, by striking nuclear infrastructure, which poses a great risk and is prohibited under Geneva Conventions, which Israel is party to, because it is causing, or it's possible that it can cause enormous radiation leakage, to the extent that all countries surrounding Iran today have been placing on the border scientists to monitor radiation leakage, right? Because this can create a catastrophe. So there is.
So we got some new voices on the stage. Derek, Fedo, Alon, and Rajesh. Do you guys want to respond? Everybody got the time?
Patty, I think Fedo was asked to speak after.
Okay. Go ahead, Fedo.
Hi, good morning, everyone. In just viewpoints, it's in this conflict, it's not about now, it's not about who's right, who's wrong, who started the whole thing first. It really pains me to see the scenes of destruction in both Tel Aviv and Tehran, and there's been so much pain happening in the Middle East for the past 2 years. People have been dying, kids been killed, people are starving, and I still see that what's happening right now is a very good opportunity, and the opportunity is for my friends in Israel is finally to understand that war is not a video game, and you might have disagreement with the regime, but when it really hits you, when it becomes in your house, when people die, it's different. So people has been killed in Gaza for the past 2 years. Yes, Hamas did horrible stuff, but it's not about that anymore. The people who are suffering, the civilians, they haven't done anything, and when you bring war to them, it's not numbers anymore. So now, for the past 2 days, people in Tel Aviv and Israel have been experiencing what a war is. When a bomb lands next to your house, you don't think politics. You don't think, okay, maybe we were wrong, maybe our people were wrong or right. No, it's not about this. It's about your kids or your family being incinerated next to you, which is a bit very. I lived one war in my life, and it's the most horrible experience. I was very young, but it's still traumatizing until now. So when I see it on TV, it's different. I don't look at it as numbers and stuff like that. Anyways, it's very American, and I know Mugabe can say, okay, we don't have nukes, and Iran is not allowed to say to have nukes. Israel, you are not in any place to lecture people about who or who not to have nuclear. First of all, you have nuclear weapons, or you don't, nobody knows, and I find it just like very silly that every time you ask someone, like, oh, we don't know, it's like a grown up saying you have it or you don't have it. I think everyone knows that you have it. So if you have it, you cannot go around and lecture people, especially that no, you're not only democracy, the way that you're treating people is not nice, it's not democracy, it's not first word, and you have no rights to lecture people about that. And coming out to try to American people and say, okay, I'm joining us for the war and kill this and that. Again, you're doing the same thing again and saying that Iran is a minority. Speaking of countries that hurts the US, like 1 week ago, it was the memory of the ship USS Liberty, the one that was attacked by the IDF in 67. 34 American civil died. And it was not like it was straight attacks from the Air Force of IDF to the US Liberty. They knew their weapons, they killed them, they kept bombing the ship for like, I don't know, 2 hours, something like that. And then they saved their civilian. Please Google and see the details. There's a lot of mention about that. So, yes, Iran said bad stuff, and then but you also have done bad stuff. And the worst thing that you've done is that Netanyahu straight lied to the Americans, and they said, okay, Iraq has nuclear weapons. I was born in Iraq, by the way. And Netanyahu came and lied and said, we actually have mass destruction weapons, and because of that, the US wins, and there's, a lot of people who died from the two sides, the traumas that happened, and the worst thing is that leaving the region in so much chaos that created the worst organization that's happened over the Venezuela crisis, all this for, like, why? Why are we, like, why is Israel having the right to dictate, I should have this, I shouldn't have this, and so I think this is the cross line where the American politics and the Israeli portion is split, because American, they still see that you should not follow Israel in every rule that they have. And yeah, this is all I wanted to say, and please do not repeat what happened in Iraq again, because I don't think also like an regime disappearing suddenly or something, it's not going to be heaven, and I don't think they're going to be literal in one day again, it's going to be chaos, and peace for everyone. Thank you.
Please use your brother and other people back up.
Can I jump in now? Okay, I wish I would be still in the room, but okay, I can live possible with you as long as you're lucky or sitting on your first day. But yeah, that what I said. I know we'll say a couple of things like referring to the whole what was said by who and who didn't say what. So I checked, and it was difficult to find when I did find out what aspect was referring to. Now it wasn't Ahmadinejad that made that statement, it was Rafsanjani that made the statement. I put that still in the chat, anybody wants to read it. So that statement relating to fire
again, we're going to have to ask ourselves, why is it that when there was a deal on the table in the first place, why did our man Donald Trump pull out of that deal, and then 4 years later, only to try to make the same deal he pulled out of again? What was the point behind the whole thing? Even as at the time he made that deal, the intelligence officials were saying at that time Iran did not have any nuclear weapon, and they were largely sticking to the deal. He pulled out of it for whatever reason, whether because he hates Obama and all that. But anyway, that is just a side note for us to ponder about. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about now. In the whole of that region, right? There is only one country that has nuclear, that has the policy. You guys can read it up. It's called the Samson Protocol. Only one country there has it that if they feel threatened or they feel they're going to be overrun, they are going to destroy the whole region with their nuclear weapons, and that is Israel. You have to ask yourself, Israel is allowed to have nuclear weapons, even though Israel will not come out and tell you they have nuclear weapons, and every other country is not allowed to have it. North Korea has it, but you don't want anybody else in that region to have it. So, I mean, these are questions we really need to start asking ourselves and get to the root of the whole thing. Thank you.
Yeah, to that point.
All right, so I said I was going to speak. May I ask my question now? Is Norm still here?
No.
He left?
Yeah. No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right, Norm. So my question is, I think you mentioned this probably about 20, 30 minutes ago about the 61st day.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to sign, and that was, so what was that agreement all about?
Limiting Iran's efforts to enrich its uranium to weapons grade, which it has then in the past promised to use against the United States and Israel to wipe us off the map. That's you and me. Yeah.
So is it like nuclear powers? Is that what you're trying to say?
Enriching uranium.
It's uranium.
Nuclear weapon.
Oh, so what is that?
In order to produce a military missile weapon, something that can be carried from one continent to another, you have to have uranium at a certain strength. So that's what we're talking. That process is called enrichment. It's the enrichment.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Enrichment also happens for civilian purposes, and the United States, according to public media statements from Donald Trump and his administration itself, was pushing all enrichment of uranium, including for civilian use, to be banned. That was a red line for Iran.
And that's why I said the infrastructure. Like they're trying to they can't say zero, no uranium enrichment when they need it for infrastructure. They need it for power.
Well, they have a lot of oil, but let me point out again that the IAEA, the monitoring body, is so alarmed at this enrichment far beyond civilian use that for the first time in 20 years, they have determined that Iran was racing towards getting a nuclear bomb. They called it nuclear escalation. This breach, this non-compliance by the objective, nonpartisan monitoring agency, and hang on, I'm almost done. I didn't land it right away. The IAEA, they need a Security Council resolution to find Iran in breach, in non-compliance of nuclear escalation limits and laws imposed on the world.
Okay.
And I can look at,
Okay, thank everybody that participated in that question. I appreciate you. I wasn't quite finished. There's a reason why I asked that question, because the 60 days was up, right? And then on the 61st day, Netanyahu just decided they was gonna, start striking. Yes? Is that how it went?
Netanyahu and the United States.
No, the United States was around her.
Hold up. 1 second. Your president, he said he didn't know. Now, he said this as of last night. So I'm not going to include the U.S. right now. I'm just saying Netanyahu decided to respond, because they didn't respond on the 60th day. On the 61st day, they decided to just go ahead and, send missiles and stuff. Yes?
Okay, no, that's false. So I just listened to the Israeli Prime Minister this morning, and he stated moments ago that they absolutely made the United States and...
Excuse me, that's not my point and where I'm trying to go. I don't want to belabor that. That's not where I want to belabor. And the question wasn't for you. The question was for Elmo, Robert, respectfully. Elmo, are you going to say yes or no?
What's your question?
I'm asking, so on the 61st day, they just decided that they were going to respond with air missiles and strikes, right?
They mean the United States and Israel. Not
Then meaning, yeah. I don't want to belabor. I'm talking about on the 61st day. Yes or no? Because there's another 100%. Question.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The U.S. and Israel decided to attack because we knew that they would negotiate fairly. The
U.S. has not attacked.
Here's the thing. The United States. Now, how is it that any other time you agree with Trump and what Trump says when he say he didn't do something, but now today you're going to say that he's a liar?
I never believed Trump. I never believed Trump.
It's sugar. You are not being truthful. Come on. Okay, fine. Okay. Anyway, I've heard you defend Trump on plenty of cases, but all I'm saying is what I really wanted to try to get down to is the fact that I don't believe that Trump agreed to this on the 61st day. Do I think that they had conversations that, okay, listen, if they don't do this, then this is what we're going to do. But I don't believe that there was on the very next day, because usually in these type of situations, we come back and like, hello, did you forget something? Hello, you going to sign this? What's happening? What are we going to do? The time is up. But no, we don't even have an additional conversation. There's just a preemptive strike out of nowhere. Okay? So, and furthermore, I don't think Trump and I are Geminis. His birthday was yesterday, my birthday is today. Hello? And I don't want nobody messing up my birthday party. And what Netanyahu was messed up his birthday party with all this bullshit that's going on out there. And now everybody blowing up things and so on, whatever. He's supposed to be the master of negotiation. And you think he wants that embarrassment right now? No, I don't think so. Especially when he's been trying to, build businesses and trying to connect these different things. I'm not saying that they didn't want to have a conversation about what they were going to do if they didn't do X. But I don't believe that the Y in that X equals the very next day. I don't believe that. I don't agree.
First Lady, Trump was jubilant. He called the strikes excellent. And he said, if Iran wants it to stop, come back to the negotiating table and sign a deal. To Trump, this is part of the negotiation. And he's delighted at these attacks. As I say, the United States is 100% behind.
Of it. Last night, he simply tweeted that United States had nothing. So United States, his tweet last night trumps what yours is saying. Because guess what? Mine is earlier. And the latest news, he said the United States had nothing to do with it. Period.
That's because they don't want Iran to hit nuclear, to hit American assets in the region.
But that's not even true either. We had nothing to do with it.
They played Iran. They played 40
what did we do? What did we do? What did we do that had to do with what happened in Iran?
Yeah, we have two armed authorities.
What did the United States do?
I'm telling you, we, the United States, have destroyers in the region knocking those ballistic missiles out of the sky. By the way, Jordan and Saudi Arabia.
That's a deterrent to keep it from hitting our national security interests. What did we do? No, it had nothing to do with Israel. You got to remember, we have bases in Bahrain. We have a base in Jordan. When you guys came out with you and Bibi, I'm saying you and Bibi because I don't think the Israeli people are into this shit. They want to fucking live and breathe, right?
Yeah.
So when you and Bibi was saying Jordan has something to do with it, Jordan clearly stated that they were fucking They were doing the deterrent thing because they don't want shit landing in Jordan. Had nothing to do with them supporting. And the GCC has came out like they are saying this is wrong.
The rockets are headed towards Israel and Jordan and the United States destroyers and Saudi Arabia and the entire region.
The rockets were heading towards Israel and towards Iran, and they still hit a military base in Iraq the first time.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He's conflating the fact that we are protecting American soldiers. He's conflating the fact that we have American soldiers in Israel that we have a right to defend, no matter which way we look at it. They did not get direct orders from the President of the United States to defend Israel because we need to protect the Israeli government. We have direct orders, no matter which way we look at it, to protect our American soldiers. So when missiles are coming in, we have destroyers to protect them, not the Israeli people. I'm sorry, we're not doing that for you.
There's no difference, EJ. You're wrong. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
You're wrong. Israel. Okay, I don't think you understand.
Can I for 1 second? Just take a second.
Yeah, go Katrina. And then Wednesday, I think Chris joined us wants to speak after you.
Okay, so was the United States supposed to have a meeting that was scheduled, the negotiation continued on Sunday? So today, right? Today's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when somebody is saying, I didn't see who was saying that, but somebody was saying that like, oh, they walked away from negotiations and 60 days ended. So they were like, oh, well, if you 60 days ended and blah, blah, blah. And the United States basically was not, they didn't want to negotiate with U.S. anymore, with Trump, as somebody said. Then why did they have a scheduled negotiations meeting for today? See, like, so if there was no negotiation, so again,
I want to explain.
Stop interrupting. Hell, you need to stop. You're like a little child. I'm ADHD and I control my fucking urges. Control yours.
Katrina, go ahead.
So this is insane. If somebody is gonna say that is my assumption, that is how I interpret, and that's how I want to see it, that's fine. But it's not a fucking fact. It's not a fact the United States actually went and attacked Iran. It's not a fact. Did we know? Yes, we knew. But that doesn't mean that we actually went and did that. Number one. Number two, stop fucking spreading misinformation. Like, I'm sick and tired of like these those dog whistles just fucking grabbing literally just a sentence that is being spread all over the media and keep fucking repeating it over and over. United States didn't walk away from negotiations. Iran didn't walk away from the negotiations. They were supposed to meet today. And it was canceled because Israel attacked. Period.
That is correct. And to add to what she's saying, you guys got to understand this tactic, right? So this guy, you keep using terms like they play. There's nothing playful about lives being lost. There's nothing playful about war being raged, right? This is not play. This is serious shit that affects people's lives all over the planet. So please refrain from using such terms like that as if we're talking about some jokey shit. This is real shit right here. Unequivocally, without a doubt, the United States was aware of what Israel was planning to do. The strategic nature of that initial strike was it was flawless, right? They had already penetrated inside Iran. They were set up. So when this attack was activated, it was well planned. It wasn't an overnight thing. This was an ongoing thing. And Mr. Trump, unfortunately, is telling Iran, we don't give a fuck what you say, what you want. Bow and bend the knee. And that's it. This is how this man has run his administration. This is how this man has created turmoil in economic markets around the world. He is completely unhinged. He has no continuity in any type of policy. He just goes off the top of his fucking head. And this is what we have today. Now, the potential over there is really severe. I was doing some research on the allies that Iran has. And I'm looking at escalation, right? What happens when this thing escalates? Who are their allies? One of them is Russia. One of them is China. And don't sleep on them coming to aid Iran when this thing escalates. Like, we got to keep this shit real. And, sir, you're downplaying the fact that the United States has continually sponsored everything that Israel can do no wrong. They can do no wrong. Everything that they're doing. And we think in America this is about an anti-Semitic thing. No. This is a regular man, a human being, Bibi. Bibi is a regular human being who is extremely aggressive, and he has a philosophy that is counterproductive to many in his own company, in his own country. The regular civilians over there, and I'm talking to people in Israel, and they are not jacking the leadership in the way they're doing things. All right, so let's like stop this play talk and have a serious conversation. I'll land.
Take me right, Robert. Take me right, Robert. So I'm sorry. No, sorry. When he was addressing me, I want to respond to him for a second.
No, he just said he lands. That's what he said on normal.
Yeah, just say landed. I just want to explain the play. I'll remember 1 sec. It's just, we have other people here joining us. I understand. Wednesday.
How you doing, babe? How you doing?
Just wait to respond. Just write it down. Okay, remember. Yeah, please remember. We got Wednesday. Don, welcome. Kevin.
I'll go. Hush your buzz. 1 second. You can wait your turn. Okay. You're 68 years old. Learn some decorum. Okay, but I don't need everybody talking to El Normal because y'all just gonna make the situation worse. The mods got it. Thank you. I appreciate your help. But today is Father's Day. Let's keep the peace. Happy Father's Day to all the wonderful men. Happy Father's Day. And I want to say hello to my special friend, Dawn. I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to hear him speak, but I'm so grateful that you're here today. Happy Father's Day. Anyway, today is also my birthday. It's a very special day. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, Wednesday, one mic on you. Happy to meet you. Hello. Whoever said, to be honest with you, Donald Trump wouldn't have had, delegates coming from Iran to Camp David, which was last Sunday, right? His whole cabinet was negotiating a deal with Iran. On a Sunday, his whole cabinet in Camp David last Sunday, right? Monday, he speaks to Bibi saying, listen, the Iranians are hard, they're tough, but we can do this, we can do this. Bibi, to me, in my opinion, I think the negotiations was going good, and Bibi didn't like that. Because why, if the negotiation was going bad, why have another meeting this Sunday? Right? Just listen out. Just listen. Why have another meeting this Sunday if it is going bad? Bibi needs to, for some odd reason, I don't know why, the United States of America needs to always back Israel up. Always back Israel as a guilt. I don't know. At this point, I don't care. I don't want our soldiers going into war. We don't want our soldiers going into war. We can't afford another war. And we were in a 20-year war, and we lost. So Americans died, and we lost a lot of money being in that 20-year war. Enough. We cannot keep on backing Israel up. Done. And I like to also say, Israel is not our only ally in the Middle East. Okay, we have Qatar, we have Saudi Arabia, we have Iraq. We literally destroyed that country and put our own people up there. And we cannot keep on making mistakes. We cannot repeat what we did in Iraq. We can't. That's all I just wanted to say.
I mean, Israel has committed crimes against humanity at this point. UN resolution, I put it in the chat earlier. I mean, they've done time and time again. And America has gone in and vetoed it. and they haven't backed any of the resolutions that were put on the floor, that were put out there. I mean, we at the time, man, we just gotta call the thing a thing. We can no longer blindly support Israel in the way it's doing things. It's as simple as that. This ain't got nothing to do with no anti-Semitic thing, because people always use that as a crutch, and then we think it's a religious thing. No, this ain't no downtrodden. They are a strong military. They have access to United States intelligence and other resources, right? In a covert fashion, obviously. There's no way they could carry out and execute the way they have been doing without explicit support from our country. My goodness, man, yeah, we just let this guy be bullied the fuck out of us. He comes here, we bow to the knee, we honor. Like, come on, man. You guys got to look into his history. He was educated here in the United States. He's built some powerful contacts, powerful relationships. Like, he didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Yes, you guys just look at his history and how he has been a tyrant for all of his political career. Just y'all do the research, and then we can have a conversation. I've done the research. Right now, plenty of people want to speak on it, but I just want people to look at his track record, look how he came to power, and then we can really have another conversation.
Yeah, so Robert, Bibi is
here's some new voices. We have Anif, we have Don, we have Kevin, we have Shex. Do you all want to respond?
I won't be long. Robert just went quiet.
We'll let you respond right after me.
Patty, I'm just listening for now.
Okay. All right, Shex. Go ahead, El Normo.
Yeah. So just a couple things. Yes, there's a loss of human life here when we attack the worst terrorist state in the world, Iran. As I mentioned, over 1 million dead. So people just seem to ignore that, including the black Arabs of Yemen, 350,000, the Sunni Arabs of Syria, 650,000. They've occupied Hezbollah. They've occupied Lebanon with the terror group Hezbollah. So, but I didn't mean to diminish the necessity to attack Iran that the world agrees on. When I say we played them, I mean something very specific. Israel was able to, with minimal civilian damage, pinpoint target all of the generals and scientists in Iran. And they did this to decapitate Iran's ability to develop a nuclear weapon. They thought, this is how we played them, they thought that we would never do that since another negotiation was scheduled. And they ignored the deadline, which was the 60 days. And so all of these generals were still in their bases or in their homes. They weren't hiding underground the way they would have if they had expected the attack from Israel. It's called 4D chess. We told them that they had 60 days, and they ignored the deadline, as they have so many times before, because Iran isn't honest in their negotiations, and no matter what they say, they just keep developing this nuclear weapon. As I say, the Security Council is being called with a resolution, which is very different than a General Assembly. A General Assembly is just a bunch of countries expressing their opinion. A Security Council resolution is binding, and that draft resolution has already been made by the IAEA that Iran was racing to escalate. And that's a quote, not the racing part, but the escalation to get a nuclear weapon. So that's what I meant. And by the way, we've had some 5 prime ministers in the past 20 years in Israel, democratically elected. It's a parliamentary democracy, so it's the opposite of a tyrant.
Okay,
Israel's not always like
Katrina and Wednesday were flashing their mics to respond. But just to clarify one thing here is that the U.S.'s official statement through Tulsi Gabbard, I posted a link in the chat and said, this is just as of March 27th of this year, a couple months ago, she's the director of national intelligence for U.S. Tulsi Gabbard says Iran not believed to building a nuclear weapon. This is Newsweek. Tulsi Gabbard.
June 9th.
Please, Normo, please, do not interrupt. Come on. So, Tulsi Gabbard, according to Newsweek, says Iran not believed to be developing and building a nuclear weapon intelligence for America. This is a few weeks ago, back in March. Now, and that's what Wednesday said it, these are ongoing negotiations. Forget the 60 days, 60 days. The U.S., in good faith, we're assuming, right, or we should assume, but many, this is another story, I wanted to negotiate with Iran and continue negotiations, and Iran did as well. Wednesday pointed out that there was meetings, Camp David and whatnot, and this is ongoing. This meeting was supposed to happen today. Israel seems they did not like that there may be potentially a deal being struck, and they decided to attack. But go ahead, Katrina, and then I think you were on, blinking your mic.
No, you are not speaking again. Stop it. Now listen. Listen here, little Halash or Hanash or Hanish or whatever your name is. First of all, if it was their daggone equipment, they wouldn't need us to help them. So you don't even know what you're talking about. So I don't even, you need to just take a chill pill in this daggone chat, Hanishi, before you take a flight. Go ahead, Katrina.
Yeah, the Security Council, it's interesting that you see us folks particular about this previous speaker spoke in particular about the Security Council. Let's not forget the five major players in the Security Council, the permanent members. Two of them are Russia and China, who are actually backing Iran. Yesterday, it was actually played in one of the rooms. Russia spoke first during the Security Council, and they basically, pretty much said that, they're taking Iran's side and everything else. But here's the thing. I mean, to sit there and say Security Council and make it sound like it's such a great organization and like it's so fair, where Russia and China has vetoed so many times, so many things, like, come on. It's a political game. But either way, here's the thing. I don't think anybody on this stage, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody on this stage is saying that Iran is like an awesome country and like everybody approves their regime and their leaders and everything else. I think everybody understands and everybody agrees that it's a really shitty regime, right? People have tried to overthrow the dictators that they have. And I think we can all agree that the United States has meddled in other countries, sometimes with really good intentions, but they fucked up, right? We seem to constantly do this. When we talk about Iraq, when the Soviets went into Iraq, we were backing the Iraqis who were fighting against the Soviets, and then those that we backed ended up going after us. It bit us in the ass. And, we literally, United States, have done some shady shit. We have. And I think if we're going to talk about, responsibility and everything, I think we should, as a country and as citizens of this country, learn our lessons, right? Then the fact that I don't think anybody's arguing, particularly me, I'm not arguing that, the dictatorship and the leadership is not, is great, and Iran is great, and we should, not, they're amazing. Let's be friends with them. We're talking about how United States is being sucked into another war. And the fact is, can you fix and have negotiations without actually physically going into a war, right? That's why we started, economically expanding and everything else, because it is easier to have an economic advantage than actually going and killing each other and physically starting wars. So it's the whole argument is the way it is being approached, the way it is being handled is pretty much putting the United States at risk of now have to step in and possibly start another war in the Middle East. And as far as I understand, majority of Americans are fucking tired of American soldiers
like to jump in if I can at some point.
I think Wednesday was supposed to say something.
I get in there too.
No,
Go
ahead, doctor.
Yeah, so I just don't like, we can't simplify this thing. It's not so black and white. It's not just so simple as that. You know, if you look, I've done quite a bit of research on this, and just today I did post a link, and it's not on some article, it's Grok 3, and you can go back, the Iranians started their nuclear program in the 1950s. Originally it was probably to pursue, peaceful purposes to energy, but after they were, overthrown, the Iranian government in the 1970s by the mullahs, that's when even the American, the Western government stopped helping these people. In the 1990s, they were, so if you look here, just in 1990, Iran acquired centrifuge technology for uranium enrichment through illicit networks, including tied with Pakistan, North Korea. Facilities like Natanz in Iraq were developed. Iran pursued a covert nuclear weapons program known as the AMAT program, a plan aimed at producing 5 nuclear weapons. This program was reportedly suspended in 2003, though concern about undeclared activities persisted. 2002, 2015, international scrutiny and sanctions. We can keep on going here where, the Iranians have been pursuing a nuclear weapon. And I'm sorry, I don't want them having a nuclear weapon. Now, we can laugh about it and stuff, and I've heard this talked about how, they've been saying Iran's been has been weeks away from a nuclear weapon for 20 years. Well, they've been saying that shit about North Korea, and guess what? They finally have a nuclear weapon. And the leverage, is gone there. And I think that the Iranians have proved, though we're not perfect, yes, but the Iranians have proved that they're not really morally, responsible enough to have a nuclear weapon. They might actually use this thing against these people. In Israel, no matter what view you have as a human, they're far too small to sustain even one nuclear bomb. This is some serious stuff here, and they have declared their intention to wipe Israel off the map. So I know you don't care, but the rest of the world does, and we have a responsibility. I'm sorry, man, you're just some person on Clubhouse. Okay, so I don't think the Jews care when you think about that.
Let's keep it.
Well, okay, all right, you're right, all right, but I'm just saying, for her to jump in and say she doesn't care, that's quite selfish. Okay, I think what Israel's doing, if I can finish really quickly, what Israel's doing is honestly, they're doing us a favor. It's 10 years too late, in my opinion. Okay, and something has to be done. And I'm so glad Israel's doing the dirty work.
Okay, Doctor, let me just ask you a question, just based off of what you just said, and then we'll go to the next speaker. You said that they are small and they can't sustain a nuclear, hit, right?
Israel's quite small, and I think that's a known fact, right? You can fly over with a jet one way in 3 minutes, another way in 10.
Is that what you said? I'm asking to clarify. I want to make sure.
Yeah, it's a small country that no one should be attacking into nuclear weapons, and I think Iran.
Okay, but sir, I just asked you.
For God's sakes.
Maybe they think I'm attacking everybody.
How? So wait, hey! Listen, y'all don't want to piss me off. I promise you, you don't. I'm trying to be real nice, but y'all keep pushing my buttons. I'm not the one. It's my birthday. Y'all better calm yourself down.
Lady's birthday. Don't piss her off. Lady's birthday, everybody. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Okay, so anyway, what I'm trying to say, Doctor, is if in fact you don't want to be nuked, then why do you keep poking the bear? Like, why didn't he just go back to Trump and be like, look, they didn't sign it, what we gonna do? Trump would have told him, I'm gonna talk to them on Sunday, chill out, chill back, and we're gonna...
talking doesn't work with some people, right? But let's be realistic. Are we afraid to admit truths in this day and age?
Why are you talking over her, Wise? Do you have a problem? Is there something...
I'm sorry, I thought she was finished, and I was just trying to add some sense here.
Something's wrong.
I'm sorry.
Because you don't know how to stay on mute.
It's not sensible to poke the bear based off of what you're saying. It's small. If these people do have a nuke and then you piss them off, then what makes you think that they won't respond with their nuke? That don't make sense. And then sometimes talking doesn't work. So if talking doesn't work, then you're saying, okay, well, go ahead and hit me back. And if they hit you back and then everybody is hurt, that don't make sense. Y'all gotta get out of this caveman mentality. Okay, we've learned from our past. We've seen what has happened. World War I, World War II. The reason why we haven't had World War III is because of the fact I believe that people have learned from the past. But no, we want to keep on playing around with it.
No, do you mind if I respond to that?
No, I do mind. It's Wednesday's turn. Go ahead.
What are you talking about? I mean, Iranian people.
What did hey, to those that just came in the room, right?
Maddie, are you talking, Maddie?
Okay.
I mean, Wednesday, are you talking? No.
I'm Iranian.
Yes, man. I don't. Yeah, well, you don't know how to sit down and reach your turn. So you can have a seat in the cool. Don't play with me. I'm not to be played with. I'm really not. Now, if y'all want me to start acting a fool up here, I can definitely start acting a fool. I understand that this is a very sensitive conversation, and people cannot have this conversation if they're going to be emotional about it. So I need people to take their emotions out and start thinking with your brains. It doesn't make sense to start war. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense for us to get the fight. Listen, you can give me all the stats. There's 600,000 people here, 600,000 people there, 300,000 people here, 400,000 people there. And guess what? We can go back and forth with how many people have killed who. But what does
First lady, you can live this killed by our lifestyle, but that's not the realities of the world.
Oh, okay. All right. See you later. Have a good day.
I'm today.
Don't bring him back up either, because I don't play that.
Can I jump in at some point? I think it was
I'm
Wednesday.
trying to. Is Wednesday gone or no?
No, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
And then can I get
You sitting over there eating
After,
That's what it is.
you are sorry. It's lunchtime for me. It's lunchtime for me. Forgive me. But listen, how small can Israel be? Let's put this in perspective. They have done fucked up Lebanon. They have, excuse my French. They have fucked up Syria. They have been throwing missiles at Yemen. How small is Israel really, right? How small are they really? Come on. They have their own nukes. It's like a secret that everybody knows about, right? The Samson option, right? But how small is Israel really? How their lobbying in the United States is so strong that they have both of our political parties. So how small is Israel really? That's what I just wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, so a few points I want to respond to previously voiced on UNSC resolutions. Since apparently we care about UNSC right now, the fact is there isn't a UNSC resolution on nuclear weapons against Iran. There probably will never be for aforementioned reason on Russia and China. Right? The other thing is, since we care about UNSC, there is a resolution, right? Specifically Security Council resolution and urges Israel to close its nuclear facilities under the aforementioned IAEA safeguards, which Israel to this day is not doing, right? Obviously, we don't care about UNSC resolutions, or Israel would have implemented that one. Other than that, even IDF, it has been fact-checked already multiple times with Tulsi Gabbard's statement, right, on the nuclear program. IAEA, again, another fact-check, IAEA hasn't said that Iran is breaking out into nuclear weapons, right? It has, however, found Iran in violation of the NPT treaty that Israel has refused to sign, right, and is in violation of aforementioned UNSC resolution because of it. The other point would be that IDF's own assessment that starting a war with Iran does not prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. In fact, it probably does the opposite, right? IDF's own assessment is that the enrichment knowledge of nuclear scientists is too spread out in Iranian population, right? Moreover, it is impossible to reach Iranian nuclear program, right, through airstrikes. So unless there is an invasion or a regime change or anything like that, and by invasion I mean boots on the ground, which Israel has no capacity to do on its own, right? Iran's knowledge of nuclear weapons is not going away. The enrichment and the infrastructure of it is also not going away. Again, IDF's own assessment that the best they can do is to increase the breakout time of Iran, and this is their claim, for a few months, right? This has been consistent with U.S. own intelligence assessments that go back to the time of Obama. That's why the decision was made to do the nuclear deal, because there is simply no alternative to diplomacy in this case. And again, launching this reckless operation only increases the chances that Iran will have no other choice but to get a nuclear weapon in order to establish a deterrence, which would be, as a person that doesn't actually want to see Iran having a nuclear weapon, is a horrible development.
So I would like to quickly jump in here. Like, I understand, like, the headline, or, you know, I think it was a poor justification from Israel on terms of, like, them targeting Iran for, like, nuclear weapons. I think that is poor justification, and I think it goes beyond that. And what I mean is that since the whole Gaza and Palestine thing happened, Iran was in full support of those people, right? And I think this is what kind of triggered or ticked off. I mean, the conflict between them has always been there, but I think that when Iran, you know, showed full support for the Palestinian people, and, you know, and that whole Gaza situation, I think, you know, Israel was like, we're not having that. And, you know, there may be, you know, some type of connection between the Palestine and Iranians. I don't know. I didn't take a deep dive. And I try to approach this in the most unbiased way, because I'm not in full support of either of those countries. But I do judge them by the actions, and I think that when Israel attacked Iran, I think, you know, that was very stupid. But at the very same time, I wonder, like, what made them grow such big balls and do this in front of the world? And I think that it boils down to also the current president that's in office right now. I think on terms of diplomacy, I think, like, Donald Trump isn't 100% there on terms of trying to mitigate what's going on in the world, because also Russia and China, and somebody spoke to this earlier, they also are allies of Iran. So shit can really go south really fast. It just depends on how, diplomatic we are, and how we approach this on trying to find a solution for everyone. Because for me, I think that the end is like the conclusion would be that we're gonna have an all-out war. Nobody wants that, from what I can tell, in terms of just like the big three: China, Russia, and America. But I don't know. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, guys, I have a statement real quick. I think one of the things that we haven't thought about is this attack, and this is a direct source, right? What you guys have to realize is when you begin to attack nuclear facilities, you risk contamination. You risk interference with the mechanisms that control it. So I'm reading a statement today from the IAEA. The IAEA, right? And the statement follows: the level of radioactivity outside the NATAN's site has remained unchanged and at normal levels during, indicating no external radiological impact to the population or the environment. However, due to the impacts, there is radiological and chemical contamination inside facilities, in the facilities in that NANTADs, right? And check this out. At present, okay, here we go. All of these developments are deeply concerning. I repeatedly stated that nuclear facilities must never be attacked, regardless of the context or circumstances, as it could harm both people and the environment. Such attacks have serious implications for nuclear safety, security, and safeguards, as well as regional and international peace and security. You don't just haphazardly attack somebody's nuclear facility, ladies and gentlemen. That's the point of it. There are other things that can happen. I like
Yeah, Cody, thank you, Robert. And yeah, go ahead, Fayez, and then wait to speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. If Israel had not attacked Iran, we probably could have had a deal today between the US and Iran, because Trump had said, a couple of times that on Sunday we are going to have the final negotiation, and he's kind of, displayed hope that there was going to be a deal on Sunday. Maybe there wouldn't have been a deal, the negotiations could have failed, but Israel did not want to wait for the day, because they did not want peace to prevail in that region, because if peace prevails in that region, Netanyahu loses and Israel loses billions of US dollars that they keep getting. This is the point. And Israel will keep attacking all its neighbors as long as Israeli taxpayers do not fund it. It's the American taxpayers who fund it, so Israel has no compulsion in going to war. They will continue to do it. And for your information, for everybody's information, according to Center for Regional Organization for Foreign Affairs, Center for Foreign Affairs, a non-partisan think tank, between 1947 and up until now, US has spent $400 billion in arms support to Israel, and none of that money is coming back to the US. Now, in 2003, just to give you a background, in 2003, because of the negotiations, Tehran stopped developing the nuclear weapons, and as Philip pointed out a little earlier, Tulsi Gabbard certified in March of 2025, that is this year, that Iran is still sticking to that promise. They have not breached that promise. There is no development of nuclear weapons since 2003, even though they have the capability. Now, having a capability is totally different than having a nuclear weapon, nuclear bomb. Iran did not develop it after 2003. And this has been confirmed by the Director of Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. So why would Israel go and bomb a country and risk everybody in that region? Every country is now facing a problem, and the whole world is now in turmoil. Oil prices are going up, gold prices are going up, ships are being diverted in the seas, and so on and so forth. So get rid of this guy called Netanyahu from that place along with his cabinet. Become humans. Stop, annexing the lands nearby you. All the Israelis, you got to do this. You stop doing that, and I request American taxpayers, stop funding Israel for the wars that the minute Israel has to spend money from its own pocket, it will not go to war anywhere. Let the Israeli taxpayers, shoulder that burden of funding their wars. Why American taxpayers should do that? The minute you do that, Israel will come to its senses, and it will stop its expansionist moves.
Well, it's ironic that this gentleman used the same genocidal language of calling Israelis not human that the most genocidal terror sponsor on the planet, Iran, uses against Israel, and by the way, against Sunni Arabs, and by the way, against the Black Arabs of Yemen, and by the way, against the United States. Now, Israel already. I agree. Hang on, I'm almost done. Israel Iran. Trained by Iran. October 7th was our Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor got the United States into a war with another genocidal power called Japan that was wiping out all of the Asian people. October 7th was Israel's Pearl Harbor, the worst slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust. This was all directed by Iran. Iran continued to attack American. Sure. Iran has attacked America 170 times in the past 18 months, as well as the rest of the world by the Houthis. So this is why the world is united against Israel to respond to the International Atomic Energy Commission's summation on June 9th, a few days ago, that Iran is racing towards a nuclear weapon. And we intend to stop it. This is why the United States is behind Israel in this attack.
Okay.
Can I respond?
You're just a liar.
No, everything I said is
I can't fact
I
check.
think
The agency hasn't said
It's
that.
not.
Hold on. I feel like if we, Mont, and help me out here. I feel like if we're gonna keep responding directly to him, then this conversation is gonna stay on tomorrow. But I was gonna ask something else. I know that United States, Trump pulled out of the JCPOA, and I feel like that was working. But there was, I just looked it up, there was other countries and parties that were part of that agreement. My question is, are those countries continuing doing the inspections and everything else? Is it just the United States that left and is not doing inspections? Or
Inspectors are there.
okay,
The
so from
IAEA
France,
inspectors are there.
so France, the United Kingdom, China, Russia, plus Germany, and the European Union, those were the other who were part of this agreement, and they were supposed to supervise and inspect their nuclear facilities. Is that still going on?
yes, it is still going on. There are European inspectors right now in Iran, even as we speak.
Okay, so United States pulled out, and we have tons of European inspectors and other countries in there, right? They have access, and they can check and everything else. Okay, we don't trust Russia, but the European Union, Germany, France, I think we can trust their inspectors, right? So has they came out and said, hey, we have inspected it, and yes, they are, a month away from having a nuclear bomb.
Yes, on July 9th, they did exactly that. Read the report on July 9th.
Who?
Yeah,
You're lying.
let's go through it
You're
together.
lying. Give me a link.
No, man,
Okay,
let's
give me
go
a link.
through it together.
Give me a
July
link.
9th. Happy
Give
to.
me a link.
Happy to. I put it in the chat before, in fact. And there are a bunch of articles
It's not
about
going
it.
yet. No, I want
Happy to.
reports from
I want-
GCPOA.
Not GCPOA, the International Atomic Energy
From the
Commission.
GCPOA, because the other countries.
The GCPOA is over.
United
It's not
States
over.
pulled out from it. The other countries didn't.
There is no more GCPOA.
Can I?
This is,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so GCPOA is not over. Other countries haven't left it. Iran itself hasn't left it, right? Under GCPOA, the agency that performs the inspections is IAEA, right? And under the NPT treaty that Iran has signed. Now, it is correct that IAEA has found recently Iran in violation of its obligations. Now, that is a different thing to saying that IAEA found Iran dashing towards a nuclear weapon. Those are two different statements. The first one is correct. The second one is incorrect.
They use the word escalation.
I'm still speaking.
It says escalation.
I'm still speaking.
I know you're
No,
speaking.
Stop.
Okay. So the report is publicly accessible. It is covered by the media, etc. Right. What the report has found that they have found unregistered human-made
radioactive particles. Because those are undeclared, it is a violation of obligations of Iran. That's what the violation is. The IAEA has never claimed that Iran is dashing towards nuclear weapons.
Well, you're playing games with words now, but they call it as a dangerous escalation, sir. Do you deny that?
They're also called dangerous escalation.
Do you deny it, sir? Yes, hang on. No, don't change the subject. Do you deny that it causes a dangerous escalation?
I agree. It is. I agree. It's a
dangerous escalation. Thank you.
Sure, I agree.
Thank you.
That still doesn't mean they're dashing towards a nuclear weapon.
Okay, what does a dangerous escalation mean to you?
Dangerous escalation means dangerous escalation. It is
violation.
I'm sorry.
Well, no. Since you want to play a conventional game, at least Iran had people to at least be able to observe if they have nuclear weapons. Can we at least say the same for Israel? Israel has not still seen their nuclear weapon and arsenal.
A violation of UNSC agreement, right? The UNSC, which would be without a dangerous escalation.
That's another lie. That's another lie. Right. You're getting caught in a lot of...
No, nobody's getting caught in lies. You are.
Okay, so UNSC urging of Israel to implement inspections by IAEA, which Israel is in violation of that UNSC.
That's another lie.
Resolution.
Shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Resolution 287. Anybody can look it?
I did just look it up. That's
sorry, 487.
You didn't just look it up because you just said it right now.
I just looked it up. No, I literally said it earlier too.
Tell us what the resolution says.
I'm delighted that you say that. That resolution, do you know what year it was, by the way?
Post it in the chat.
81.
Yeah. Huh? Very good. That resolution, hang on, I'm talking right now. I posted the previous one. I posted the IAEA thing.
Yeah, but we don't need a summary. We don't need a summary from you. We all can read. We all can read.
Look it up and read it. I posted it in the chat.
All right, so then be quiet.
Let me no, they asked me a question. In 1981, Israel struck Iraq's nuclear program, and the Security Council condemned that. As you can see, it's a very good thing that Israel acts to protect the world by preventing terror states like Iraq, like Iran, like Syria. You're interrupting, man. You're interrupting, man. You're interrupting. I thought you didn't interrupt, Philip. Israel has defended the world by making terror states like Iraq and Iran and Syria not develop nuclear weapons. And that's what that resolution was about. They never made a standalone resolution against. Excuse me. So the lie that the world. Huh? Yes, protect the world from a nuclear power in Iraq.
I think we need to protect the world from Israel, who has nuclear weapons, and no one is able to seek a nuclear weapons.
Unlike Iran and Iraq, hang on, let me respond to the last comment. Unlike Iraq and Iran, Israel has never threatened the world with nuclear weapons.
Is there weapons of mass destruction in Iraq?
You're going to have to be sent down if you keep interrupting me.
You're not going
Thank you for admitting the fact that Israel has nuclear weapons. Thank you so much for admitting the fact. Now,
I never admitted the fact. Israel's never admitted the
fact that Israel has nuclear weapons. Why are you guys not allowing us, or only the United States, to be able to observe them, and not the actual Security Council?
Well, do you trust your country?
Yes, I my country, and my country says that you clearly have nuclear weapons, or at least nuclear arsenals, preparated enough to be able to at least be effective.
So, to continue, as I reported earlier, stop interrupting. As I reported earlier, the president of Iran came to the United States, and I gave you the date, and said, we will envelop you, the big Satan, in a ball of fire. and we will envelop Israel, the little Satan, in a ball of fire. They told us what they were going to do. I believe them. I know.
When was this?
That was September 22nd, and I gave the
This
date
is
out before.
scalping. Let's
Yeah.
not.
I can scalping. No, it's not scalping.
Can I chime in here, please? Can I chime in here?
Who's next?
Can I chime in here?
Why do we hear from somebody we haven't heard from?
I was accused of lying.
It's new speakers, no normal, right? It's a normal. He has an imaginary. Excuse me. It is Father's Day, and El Lomo has an imaginary badge. Everybody, put your imagination into play on this wonderful Sunday.
It's a virtual badge. It's a virtual badge.
An imaginary virtual badge. Okay. Anyway, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Thank you, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So, yeah, we want to hear from some new people. Big Drizzle, I see you flashing your mic. Dark Aaron is flashing his mic. Big Drizzle, you are new to Clubhouse, not sure. And then Fayaz, is that how you say your name? Fayaz?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great. I'm good at this sometimes. All right.
No, we just heard from Fayaz. He's not a new voice.
I know. I was just saying hi to him.
Oh, well,
Can I do that?
I know.
Listen, you gotta stop this imaginary badge, man. All right. Big Drizzle.
Yes, hello. Good morning and happy
Oh,
birthday,
that's
young
Big
lady.
Drizzle. All right, Big Drizzle.
Hello.
Yes,
Don't call him out.
Oh my God.
A new alias.
yes. I'm single now, so it's Big Drizzle, you know.
Okay, go ahead.
All righty. Thanks.
Yeah, it's Gemini season. Yes, first of all, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Happy Father's Day. I gotta say this, and I gotta go have breakfast with my dad.
Fuck all Israelian. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel. Fuck Israel.
Come on, Big Drizzle.
I like his opinion. I believe in his opinion.
Be nice.
Hey. Yeah. All I gotta say is, talk to your House representative, because my House representative has always called for regime change. Netanyahu is a genocidal, homicidal maniac who needs to be tried on war crimes. He even has corruption in his own country, which his own people don't even like him. He's been in power far too long. We talk about
18 years.
Yeah, exactly. We talk about dictatorship in all countries. There's no reason why he should be there. And not only that, one thing we're missing here is, I think it's inhumane sending 19-year-olds off to war every year and fight every year. Nobody talks about that. You know, that's how far they go off the map. Like, yeah, they talk about defending their country, but why? Just defend your country and going to war. We're drafting people and going to war. So there needs to be a regime change. Defund Israel. Please talk to our House representatives to defund Israel. Other than that, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. It's good to be back here. Shout to everybody.
Is that Big Rob?
It is, bro. What's the
Wait a minute. Y'all not supposed to give up his new name. What's wrong with y'all?
Hey, Agent, is that you? Wait, who's that?
Yeah, that's Agent.
You don't know me. You know.
Oh, what's up, bro? How you doing, bro? Agent, listen. Agent, check this out. Since I'm single now, my new name is Big Bowcat. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man.
Okay, all right. Good night. Go lay down.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you, babe. Good to hear you. Good to hear your voice. All right, I'm going over to Dark Aaron. And Dark Aaron, before you speak, I just want to say, listen, y'all. I try to be a very peaceful person. Yes, I might use profanity from, every now and then, and it's only because of the fact that you guys make me, okay? I'm gonna blame it on you guys. You guys are like the devil and you make me do it. So, I'm just saying, all this hate that's going on in the chat, I'm trying to get y'all to understand, hate only gets greater when you actually spew it. It doesn't help the situation. So when people come up here saying F this, F that, F this, I understand that there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of lives being lost. But if we don't find a way to overcome that hate, more lives are going to be lost. We're not going to move forward until we stop the hate. I'm sorry, we're just not. We're not. So go ahead, Dark Karen. One mic on you.
Nothing either. And Big Drizzle, it's good to hear from another progressive again. Hope you have been well. But going a little bit more, zooming out a little bit, the real unfortunate thing about this is that this was not done in self-defense, point blank. What happens globally when that sort of thing happens is the threshold upon which other countries may respond. A lot of genociders in the room today. No, I don't want to shut. Let me finish talking, please. No, don't get in your fifis, Don. Can I? Is this guy gonna? Anyway. The problem is that other countries are now given, I guess, permission or the threshold upon which similar actions can be done against other countries begins to come down, right? Other countries can be seen as having a similar justification that Israel has had, ostensibly, in performing massive strikes, bombing, aggressive behavior against other countries who have not directly attacked it from itself, and is able to go and perform a drastically asymmetric response against anything any belligerence that has happened to it before. So for me, the real danger here is not so much that this is going to become a world war, but more so in that we may see more. Come on, man. Anyway, what we may see is more wars happen globally because the threshold upon which other countries can go and begin to do the same of attacks. And it's everybody here. Right, can now be adopted by other countries. That is the real danger here. This is the primary reason why, and I'll end soon, this is the primary reason why a number of folks knew that Russia was never going to send a nuclear bomb over to Ukraine, because it did not want to be responsible for the ramifications after that, because the world actually really likes mutually assured destruction. It ensures that we all get to go and have global trade, for example. The real danger here probably is that if Iran goes and shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, which for those who don't know is responsible for trafficking about 20% of the world's oil daily, that may spring us into a global recession. I don't know, Philip probably knows a little bit more about the math than I do there, but that is probably the greatest
Cool, sure. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive, Papa. Oh, be thankful. Could have died. Died in some unknown village. Fighting for Tamika's. Muslim women. Oh, lots of alternative. But today, I have 2 rainbow men. Moving into 2 bed, 1 bath for $6,000. I'm headed to the gym. And then the boat. I'm not complaining. Happy Father's Day. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm alive, Papa. Be thankful I could have died in some unknown village in Afghanistan, fighting for Tamika's Bronze Star to rebuild and provide education for Muslim women. Lots of alternative realities. But today I have 2 faggot men moving into 2-bedroom, 1 bath below for $6,000. I'm headed to the gym and then the boat. I'm not complaining. Happy Father's Day.
So Charlie, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. So as I said, you still hold on. The event was planned last year on the same day for the 200. No, it wasn't. So you're saying you know more than Army generals because I bid on the contract. So you're saying that I bid on a fictitious contract that was issued under the Joe Biden administration. Great. Hey, send me your name and details. I'll have one of the generals contact you.
Well,
send me a
I don't
post
know
in the chat.
information that's available publicly. If you have some kind of secret intel because you work in the government,
you know more. Okay, got it. So you know more. Got it. I understand. You know more than all these
things without evidence, King Nod. That's absurd.
Yeah, and you don't have it.
Worked for Donald Trump, and he told me that he wanted to do it on his birthday. That's basically what you just did. That's what you did. You claim that you have some insider knowledge that's not available publicly. We should all trust you.
I said that. I said if you want,
okay, well, then share your link.
I'll have someone contact you and give you the details.
I just need your source. I don't need your source.
That's my source.
I'll correct myself.
That's my source.
You're wrong. No way.
So you're saying that you know more than generals. Got it. I understand.
Lieutenant General can call me that.
Well, give me that. That's what I said. Provide your details. Provide your details in the chat.
You bid on the contract, right? And you said or something along those lines?
I bid on the contract, I lost it, I have a record of my loss for it. Now, hold on, Matt.
That's my point.
Matt, I want to be clear on one thing. Where Jarl is correct is, and so this is the nuance on it that people don't care about because they just hate Trump. So the clarity on this is, yes, there was a plan for the same day to do a 250th anniversary celebration for the United States Army. Money was appropriated in the last budget. Okay, that's actually public record. That is available. However, when Trump came in, he said, we want to make it bigger and grander. He put the Trump effect. Now, he didn't write to celebrate my birthday because that's not in any official document. But he appropriated money that actually he doesn't have, that we don't have. And he appropriated almost, I would say, about 60 million more. And so, obviously, the argument is, well, he put all this money because he wanted to celebrate his birthday. I mean, that's just, somebody saying that, but he did put in more money than was actually appropriated, which probably is not the way it should be done, and it's also weird because the contracting process for the additional support didn't follow the normal thing, just like the company that won, which is Lockheed Martin, basically just got like an up in their firm fixed price contract, which is kind of bizarre. Because usually that doesn't happen. But anyway, the fact is that those are the facts of what occurred. So the date was chosen previously, but Trump could have. Bren was right in saying it. Trump could have changed it anytime he wanted. He chose not to. That's fair. It's not like he didn't know it was on his birthday. And at the same time, hey, he wanted to go big. He said that it was planned very minutely and overspending money. We'll see, when it comes to when the audit comes later this year on all of the funds and what they spent and how much, they're actually in debt, the White House, from events like this, then we'll see.
So can I ask you a question? Do you think that if it had not been on his birthday,
there have been more people there instead of protesting against him.
I don't know. I do know this. I'm talking about the money aspect. He appropriated a ton of money for this. The claim is he did it because it's his birthday, but he's also trying to appropriate a ton of money for the 250th anniversary next year, July 4th, more than what was appropriated before that. I won that contract, so I'm doing some of the I'm one of the companies doing logistics support on that, but but he wants to put he wants to double the amount of money spent on it. It's absolutely ludicrous. I hope he goes through the right congressional process to get that funding, or he doesn't just spend it. But again, that's not on his birthday next year. It's July 4th. So all I'm saying is that, I think he just wants to go big and wants to go elaborate and wants to say, hey, I want to go golden toilet, which you could say is a bad thing or a good thing or whatever. But it's a fair argument. But to say that, it was only because it was his birthday is incorrect. And that's why the date was chosen. That's why the date was kept. Maybe that's a fair point. But to think that Joe Biden would choose Donald Trump's birthday as a day to do it just doesn't make sense.
Happy birthday, Uncle Donnie, and happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Naveen is a husband.
I'm a father, yes.
Is
Yo, I got so many fucking happy Father's Day fucking text messages. I literally just looked. This is like anybody that knows me, I do not check my text messages. So it's like, if you want to get a hold of me, just call me. But yeah, no, man, it's crazy. 2 of my exes wished me happy Father's Day. It's like, wait a minute. Didn't one of you cheat on me and have a baby in the middle of our relationship? Like, this is crazy.
That is wild. That's crazy. You got text messages from your ex. By the way, how does that work with same-sex couples? Is one of them the father? What's going on around here? Just throwing that out there.
Well, we should. Gerald would know about that. Come on, he's the expert. Well, we should.
I know what that's about. John said, respect my maple syrup and my Canadian pronouns.
I'm assuming everyone does whatever they want. I have no idea.
We should respond the way Tim Waltz responded when asked, what is a woman? I'm not sure I understand the question.
I mean, did you see her freak out there, though? She had, a full-on tantrum when he said that. I don't know how you could possibly watch that.
No, she didn't.
Stupider than he did. She had a full-on, meltdown.
No, she said, he said, what do you want me to say? I'll say whatever you want me to say. And she said, I want...
Naveen, listen. I'm the product, okay? I'm the product from a mother, okay, that came from the 70s, okay? I'm telling you right now, the second that menopause starts to set in to this generation of the what is a woman crowd, they're going to remember what the fuck a woman is, okay? They're going to be sitting there in front of the freezer having hot flashes, and they're going to remember what the fuck a woman is.
Do you know what Trump said a woman is? Do you guys know why? Because Trump answered that question basically like a leftist would, and I don't see you guys freaking out over that.
Why do you care? Why do you care, Joe? Why do you care? You're fucking Canadian. You will never be a state. You will never be a state. Ever. Ever.
But when Trump says it, you're like, oh, he's so great. He's such a great gentleman.
You're fucking Canadian.
Wait, what did Trump say? Hold on. What did Trump say exactly, Gerald? I didn't know.
Yeah, when they asked Trump, he said women are smarter than men, which is a very feminist thing to say. Then he said women are someone who can have children sometimes. So basically admitting that you don't have to be able to have a child to be a woman. That was his entire definition. He didn't really have it. His definition was essentially to feel like a woman.
How else are you having a baby, Charles? How else are you having a baby? Are you going to impregnate a baby?
Older women.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait,
what are you talking about? Yeah, sure, I'll give you the source if you really want.
Can provide you an article? Can provide you an article that someone else wrote? An actual video where Trump actually said this. What he'll do is, because everything Trump says either on Truth Social or it's in a video, it's an interview of something he said somewhere. But that's the game, Adams. You know that, right?
I shared the video in the chat.
What's the
Yeah,
game?
he's a Canadian cuck. Like that's exactly what you did. I love how he got so upset at what I said. There's the video. He said I didn't exaggerate it. I didn't transform his words. In fact, I probably undersold it.
They left, Joel.
It's a very
Joel, they left. Joel, they left.
Like something Waltz would say.
Joel, they left. They left.
I don't know what you're talking about, Adams.
The people who give a fuck about what you're talking about, they left. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is our president. We don't give a fuck about what your syrup sipping, taint eating Canadian ass has to say about this. Go worry about Rocky Bullwinkle and the Canadian ass.
Hold on, you don't need to even watch the video because there's captions on it. Notice how he gaslit. He said his exact words were, Trump said, women are better than men, and that he said that women have it. He said all this stuff, right? It's different than what Trump said. And Trump started laughing and turned and looked at people, right? Right? I would think some of you are better, right? And he turns and points them. So he wasn't giving an answer in a way of, hey, let me answer this question and tell you exactly what I think. Let me try to appease the crowd and answer the question. That's not what Governor Waltz was doing. Governor Waltz was answering a question under oath, being asked a question. So, this is what's called gaslighting. And this is what Charles was doing. But take the video, watch it. Some of the things Charles said is kind of in there, but exactly quoted properly. No, hold on. I'll read it for everyone, okay? I'll read it for everyone so you guys get it, okay? So someone asked, what is a woman, right? And why is it important that we understand the difference between men and women? And Trump wrote, well, it's sort of easy to answer for me because a woman is somebody that can have a baby under certain circumstances. He said, person that can have a baby and sometimes not. That's what he said. The quality of a woman is someone who's much smarter than a man. He starts laughing and says, right? And he says, a woman is somebody who doesn't even give a man a chance of success. And a woman is a person who has been treated very badly. What happens is this, it's crazy, this issue of men being able to play in women's sports, just ridiculous, unfair to women, very demeaning to women. Wait, hold on a second. How come you didn't mention that, Charles? Joel, you didn't quote it properly. Oh, okay, that's right, because you were gaslighting the room. Got it, I understand now. Okay, so he said that a man can never play in women's sports. Oh, so you gaslit just now. And then when you asked to provide a source, it actually didn't say what you thought it was. You said his answer was worse, but he actually directly said Canadian bullshit.
This is a Canadian bullshit.
A lot of Canadian bullshit.
This is why I have Canadian fatigue.
You guys, in case you didn't know, Jarl gets pegged, so you're gonna have to.
Ooh.
We know this. We know this, Al. We definitely know this. Listen to his Canadian self.
I would like to point direction to my PTR. You can see Michelle Obama clearly is a man, and that is not a real family. It's an artificial construct. It's fucking obvious. You see the daughters? Those are real women, and those are not Michelle's children, and they are not Barry's children. This is the truth. We live in clown world. Jarl is a victim of clown world. Let's have compassion on these victims.
You know who I think is the real mother of the Obama girls? I think it's Superhead. Y'all don't remember Karine Steffens, Diaries of a Video Vixen? Yes, I think it's Karine Steffens.
Oh my God, Dr. Evans. Oh.
No, there's photos of them with the real parents walking around together. They're one big, happy, fucked up trans family.
Are they Somali?
Obama must have been like a CIA George Bush pet project or something. He is literally just a copper-toned George Bush. Look at him.
So, comedian, just to be clear, right? So keep in mind, somehow this guy ends up under, or whatever, his father ends up being Mr. Sotero, okay, and moves him to Indonesia at that time. And then somehow, from that time, he ends up coming to whatever university, Oceania University, which nobody's even heard of today. And he's 2 years there, and he's so good that he's able to get funding to transfer. It's not that he get a scholarship, funding to transfer to Harvard. Now, if you ask questions about that, you're racist. So you can't ask questions.
Do not ask questions. I am a pegged Canadian.
How is anyone supposed to speak to you? I feel like the
How is anyone supposed to speak to you? I am a French Canadian. I know everything. I'm a genius.
and it was incredibly accurate. The fact that Trump goes on for a little bit longer than what I paraphrased, like, I don't understand what you would have expected me to do. Is it
So
like,
it's not, first of all, it's not long.
First of all, it's not provide you never provide sources for anything. You just post it out of your ass, and you expect me to quote you word for word on memory.
You claim you
What's
had
the
a source.
expectation?
You're exact. I'm quoting John. Hold on. Let me quote John. Okay, let me quote you. This is John. Man, you should hear what Trump said. I mean, Trump said something worse than Governor Walz. I mean, he was saying that a woman. Yeah, you did. Dude, stop. Matt, you want to get this guy? Let me just let him speak. And I mean, dude, I'm quoting you. So let me re-quote. Why are you so scared? When you're wrong, you should admit you're wrong and move on. So what you think exactly?
You not expect me to know.
No, but your exact words. I'm quoting your exact words. Everyone in this room can say.
No, you're
your
not.
exact words. No, this is your words. I said. Okay, let me start with what I said. I said.
You're paraphrasing.
No, your exact words were. What Trump said was worse than what Walz said. You got caught now, and you're acting like a little puss.
No, you didn't fucking record it. You're paraphrasing. You're not quoting me. You're making the exact mistake.
Okay, so what did you say? Tell me what you said. Tell me what you said.
I couldn't even quote myself perfectly because I would like nobody remembers what I said.
Please look at my PTR. This is what this all comes down to.
So you didn't.
Shit. That's us too, buddy.
Joel made a statement. He said that Trump said. What Walz said. Yeah, you kidding me? You said that what Trump said is worse than what Walz said, and Trump at the end of the thing that you provided said, "Oh my God, it's ridiculous that man can play in women's sports." But that's not what you said, though. You said what he said is worse than Walz. So he defined a woman as not someone who can play. That man can play, and that is the right answer.
I said feminist response.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear him say he liked what Trump said?
I said it was a feminist response.
Yes, I heard it. I definitely heard it. I also heard him say that Canada supports chicks with dicks.
He said it was worse.
I didn't say it was worse. I never used the word worse. You're absolutely wrong. I said it was feminist. In fact, I said it was a good response. That's what allowed.
You didn't say it was a good
response.
response.
Trump responded to that question is how a feminist responds to that question.
That's not true. That's not true. No, that's not what you said.
King, I am gated out.
But to conservatives, it's not maybe she can have a baby.
Alright.
You didn't say maybe. That's the part. You're gaslighting. You didn't say maybe.
No, she did.
You said they
You
can have
just
babies.
read it to us. Did you literally
Okay, can I read it again? Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to read it again.
This is something about babies, right?
No, Matt. Let me read it again. The word maybe isn't in there, so this is where he's gaslighting. Okay. But let me play it. He says the exact words out. He said, "What is a woman and why is it important?" He says the difference between a man and a woman. Well, it's sort of easy to answer, Trump, because a woman is somebody that can have a baby under certain circumstances. She can, and she has. That's not maybe. She has a quality of a person who's much smarter than a man. I've always found he starts laughing. You made it seem like he was just saying that he was laughing, and everyone was, and people were laughing. People were laughing. Many places.
You don't understand what under certain circumstances means. Under certain circumstances, they can have a baby, and they're still alive.
Maybe. You said maybe. Maybe means that maybe they can't have. That means that there's a possibility that someone who's a man.
And they're still a woman. You fucking idiot. That's literally what it means. Maybe. Under certain circumstances, it means maybe. That's what it fucking means.
You were saying that.
He's triggered. The Canadian being triggered.
How do you not understand that?
Said the word maybe. That's not it. Maybe means that there's room for a man who wants to be a woman. That could be someone who's in there. When you say under certain circumstances,
circumstances.
So what? There's also women that aren't capable of having. They're actually biological women, and they have problems where they can't have kids. That's what he's talking, and that's why later he says. Which is why later. So notice how Jarl just got himself. See how Jarl got himself on to now Matt even. Here's what it is. So now then also he says at the end, which would have been important for Jarl to say, is he also ends the statement by saying men should never be playing in women's sports, and men cannot play in women's sports.
Yeah, that's
right? Which is the right. No, that's what we're talking about. Did you hear? No.
That define what is a woman, and now you're gonna say they can't play in men's sports or whatever. It doesn't even define the term. Saying you can or can't have a baby doesn't define what is a woman. It doesn't help you define it whatsoever, in no way, shape, or form. What he said is actually completely void of any meaning at all. Saying a woman is someone who maybe can have or sometimes can have a baby and sometimes can't. That means absolutely nothing. That includes every single human being on earth. Every single human being can have a baby under certain circumstances.
And you're still gonna have to get your prostate checked.
Look, Ellie, you're a woman. Go ahead.
I'm a woman and I don't have a prostate. So anybody who has a prostate is a fucking man, okay? Basic biology. And if you transition, guess what? You're still gonna have to get your prostate checked. Thank you.
Damn. Oh, so wait. So if someone says a woman is somebody who could, is maybe can have a baby sometimes, would you assume that they're probably saying, hey, that means that a man could possibly be a person, whereas under certain circumstances, I think under certain circumstances is vastly different than saying the word maybe. Right. Correct? Oh. So, but Jarl seems to. So Jarl was gaslighting. Now I understand. Thank you.
You always gaslight.
We got it. So we got it. Now you can shut the fuck up, Jarl. Now you can shut the fuck up, Jarl. You were trying to gaslight something and you were proven wrong by your own source, and now you're a child.
He said adult men like to get pegged because he's an adult. All adult men like to get pegged. That's what he said last night. But I pulled the room, and there was nobody else who was like, yeah, I get pegged and I like it. Nobody else, just Jarl.
Only Psyop would be the other one I can think of, but.
Even he.
So that's only if you're MAGA. If you're MAGA, I'm fucking your asshole.
I'm gonna have you grab your fucking ankles. You're gonna lick my boots. I'm gonna fuck your ass.
Well, I gotta loosen your butt first. I gotta loosen your asshole first.
You like that shit.
I gotta loosen your white ass up first, man.
Your ass.
No, we're the ones turning white boys into trainers. We're turning white boys into trannies. We're turning white boys into trannies. We like that white ass.
Grab your ankles.
You got holes in your brain from fentanyl from the cartels. You got holes in your brain from fentanyl. You got holes in your brain from fentanyl, bitch.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Niggers have prison.
The cartels are aligned with the CCP. We're gonna rape and murder. Rape and murder is coming soon, Whitey.
Honey, I'm hearing every day.
The CCP and the cartels want to rape and murder MAGA.
Nobody here.
The CCP and the cartel want to rape and murder MAGA. Who's gonna help them? More than half of America.
Is this a little Raza Mexican? Is this a little Raza Mexican speaking?
More than half of America.
Shouldn't you be trying to get back over the border? What's happening?
Take it to the streets!
Everybody's away.
Take it to the streets!
La Miga!
I'm a fucking pussy. I'm in Texas. You white boys suck your tails here, man. Puerto Rican dick. Tacos roast wine with cream. Tacos roast wine with cream. I turned a white boy into a fucking train.
Say more. I love it.
That's why I let him do it, Alex, because this is the left, you know. This is what
I love it. They can help themselves.
Yeah, these are La Raza Mexicans.
We kill more Americans in the 21st century than anybody, you white bitch.
So let me ask you a
What are you
question.
gonna do about it?
You're so pro-Mexican.
What are you gonna do about it?
So pro-Latino.
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
Boy.
What are you gonna do about it?
The FBI.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yo, is this?
What are you gonna do about it?
Is this Pepe's brother on the phone?
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm sending this on to the FBI.
We're in the court.
The FBI already knows. The FBI already knows. More Americans died from COVID-19 than you got replaced by Venezuelans.
Really? Well, there aren't even enough of Venezuelans, so that's weird. Nobody's getting replaced.
He left. He needed back. He's going back over the border.
We deported him.
You're delusional, man.
You
guys are an endangered species.
How many of your friends got deported? Guys, like
I got 9 kids. White people pay my child support. I'm not rich. I got like 13 fucking kids, man. Whites pay my child support, the working class. You pay my, yeah, we fucking breed like child support, man. Women don't put us on child support. That's why we have a lot of kids. We have more women, they don't put us on child support. They don't put it, it's a fucking military mind games, bitch. We've been killing y'all for years. We break junk out. We sabotage the highways. We look over. Oh, it's a white person. Excuse me. Excuse me, you will never be us. Oh, it's a white person on the highway. You guys suck your fucking tails, man. You suck your fucking tails. More Americans died from COVID than any country. The fucking cartel killed more Americans. Latino fatigue. You're endangered. Latino fatigue. You're an endangered species. Anglo-Saxons are an endangered species. The fucking blacks are fucking your woman. The blacks are fucking your woman, man. The white man doesn't like white women. They don't like the white woman. You're not breeding. You're not having babies. You're not having babies. We put a spell on the fucking white. Wait a minute. Hold on. Spell. Mute him. We put the ultimate spell. We put the ultimate spell on you white motherfuckers. We put the ultimate spell on you motherfuckers. Hold on. Just mute him. Sleep. We put the ultimate spell. Mute him. You Anglo-Saxons. We got some breaking news. This is not a Latino. This is a porch monkey. You are a porch monkey. You are a porch monkey. You're a Latino. Stop it. Stop us playing for Latino. You are a porch monkey. You got a gun murder. Rape and murder is what we want. Rape and murder, bitch. This is a bona fide chimpanzee.
Not me. I know how to move it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Mind this beautiful white woman.
I can't get rid of them. I don't know what that is. It's so weird.
I do this on the daily.
That was the weirdest troll I ever heard.
He's coming back.
You're not breeding. You're not having kids.
This is the base of them. This
Put a gay spell on America. Shut up, you damn porch monkey. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We're turning white boys into trannies. We put a gay spell on America. We put a gay spell on America. And meanwhile, porch monkeys like yourself are defending the late. It's too late.
Our whole family's listening to this.
This is such a weird thing, guys.
Yeah, porch monkey. This is what these porch monkeys do.
If you want to keep out of the room, here's what you do. Right now, go to his profile, block it, kick.
I can do that.
White lives splatter. You age too fast. You age fast. Your own man don't want you. No one is thinking. You're not breathing. You're not offspring. We put a gay spell. We put a gay spell on white America. We put a gay spell on white America.
You need Jesus.
It's so weird, you guys.
You can't make this.
I have to let it go a little bit. It's just too much. It's just like, is this real?
Yeah, I'm clipping all this and putting it on
This
YouTube.
guy's like in a prison just getting a raw disaster.
He's a pain for about 6,000 people.
Hands on your knees, La Raza. I'm doing the fucking, man. I'm doing the fucking. Wait, why did you just add me? I'm doing the fucking, because I want to fuck, nigga. I want to spit in that ass. I want that white boy pussy, man.
What they like?
I want to turn your asshole into a fucking pussy.
That's gay.
You're gay.
Well, we turn whites into fucking. I want that white asshole, man.
It sounds like you're gay.
We hate whites with a passion, though, man. It's a deep-rooted hatred. It's a deep-rooted hatred. It's a deep-rooted hatred, bitch.
You might hate me, but
Hey, listen, man. Latinos and whites more than any fucking group. The cartel. No, you are not Latino.
this is a horrible
Puerto Rican,
troll, man.
fucking white boy. Hey, you're a fucking American, you dumbass. I want to put brown dick in your white ass. innocent Jennifer Lopez. Okay, you are an American. You are an American. You are not Bad Bunny. You are Jennifer Lopez. You're an American.
Sabotage from within, and you're talking shit on the internet. Go outside, pussy. Go outside. I'm in urban Texas.
I don't think you like women.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm in urban Texas.
Oh, he's from New York. He's from New York. There we go. There we go. New York men are the gayest men in America.
Texas, right? Certain white boys in
New York men, they rape the women on the subway. The male rats. They don't even rape the women rats. They rape the male rats on the subway.
Whites are trannies. Whites are trannies, nigga. We put a gay spell on white America.
Matt, here's what you do.
We put a gay spell on white America, nigga.
And I have a bunch.
We put a gay spell on white America. You're done.
Did you have to record them while I'm talking?
Latinos hate whites more than any fucking group, and that's what you're just waking up. It's too late, bitch. It's too fucking late. We've been putting spells on people. We've been putting spells on people. We put gay spells on you.
I'll spit your ass. That was just a, one-off.
Okay, I have to get rid of this. How did I do it now? Real quick. I did it yesterday. But now I can't.
Well, now you just block it.
What kind of an environment creates someone like that?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wait a minute, I know Edmund's not saying shit. Like, I know Edmund's not saying shit. Like, what the fuck is going on, Edmund? I know you're not talking shit about people not being able to mute people.
I appreciate Edmund, because I know he's probably putting that motherfucker on blast.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Hello.
Happy Father's Day.
Look at my PTR. There's 2 super dads right there.
Well, that guy said he had 9 kids. He doesn't know where they all are, but he's got 9.
They're scattered out like roaches all over the place right now.
I've never heard about opening up a man's ass, spitting in it to make it into a pussy. That's quite a visual.
That's how gay men get women pregnant. They spit at in their pussies and stuff.
Well, no, but he wanted to spit in y'all's ass, so I don't know what that is.
He was looking at the bunghole.
When people see the YouTube Happy Father's Day video, they're gonna say, "What the fuck? What did I just watch?"
Exactly. I co-signed this. I'm sorry, Edmund, but I have to co-sign that action.
Yeah, I think we have to expose a lot of people on the set because not only are they completely toxic and waste all of our time, I mean, they're going undocumented, unreported, and especially in these unrecorded rooms. They do not create recorded rooms because they don't want to be on the record because they're trash. They're low IQ propagandist scum.
Well, just so you know, these unrecorded rooms are still recorded by Clubhouse, and they save them for a short amount of time just in case they're reported and so that things can be investigated into.
Exactly. It's already in the terms of service. It's a given.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, documenting them, re-platforming them on X, re-platforming them on YouTube, letting all the world know just how stupid they are.
How many hours of audio do you think you have?
God, it's insane. It's insane, yeah.
He has a lot of hours.
It's a lot of videos at this point. It's like 20,000 videos up on YouTube.
My buddy Doug's down there. What's up, Doug?
Right now, I'm currently targeting Amir and his merry band of terrorists on this app, restreaming them into multiple rooms on Clownhouse, X, and YouTube, and it's driving them crazy.
How many recordings do you have of politically correct? Because there was an incident the other day where Patty was threatening to dox me and find me, so I didn't know. Do you have a lot of politically correct or no?
Well,
Wait a minute. Wait. So a member of the United States military is threatening to dox you?
Yeah, she says I'm on a list. So.
Got it.
Oh, you mean the soldiers went to her to Afghanistan to fight for Muslim female education and civilization rebuilding? Wow, what a glorious victory and honor it was to serve in the military with people like that.
So let me. What branch of the U.S. government does the military report to?
Executive.
Executive?
No.
Oh wait, yeah, there's another one. You're right. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, Congress.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, she's a ghetto trash piece of shit. I heard her today exploding on people, bringing out that bubonic plague in her mouth. Could you imagine having to work with somebody like that?
Edmund, don't they always kick you out of politically correct?
Well, now Clownhouse created this amazing feature. I think I'm the only person who actually is going to spend money on this stupid feature. So I can go into these stupid rooms and just live stream how they're here 18 hours a day. You take one cell phone, you put it on a tripod. You take the other cell phone with the anonymous account, you put it up there, and you just restream their stupidity into YouTube for the whole fucking day. It's a business, ladies and gentlemen. Restreaming morons.
You should call it that.
Well, I call it how to waste your time doing nothing while your whole life burns down around you, dying on a hill for nothing.
That's good too, yeah.
Well, you probably have a lot of debate the news on there too.
That's content-rich stuff too.
Well, no, what they do is they stream on Chatter and then they put it back on Clownhouse.
Chatter.
What are you laughing about, Al? I'm gonna kick you from the room if you laugh again. Grant.
Grant, I took it down.
Somebody ping Nelson Apega in here. Somebody ping Nelson Apega in here.
Isn't it spend $19.95 or $99 on their course?
Wait, what?
I'm a national licensed mortgage, and my number is anybody interested in learning the mortgage business or how to make money with no cash down in real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to have money to make money. That's the biggest lie in all of business. I have made a lot of money with no money, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. If you have no money but $99.99, that's just $99. I'm going to teach you the Nelson Apega and Cindy Stumple and Grant Cardone secrets on how to get started in real estate.
That is scarily accurate.
I know it is.
Guys.
Phil, I got my program now. I just launched it. Selling money is better than anything else out there. Join Chatter. Hey, remember that other girl? What is her name, Matt? Is it like Kalisha Khaleesi? She doesn't go in the rooms anymore, and they don't mod her.
Yes, Kalisha. You're Khaleesi, yeah, right?
No, she's always modded.
No, she's there.
Yeah, no, she may have blocked you. But, Kalisha, I'm telling y'all, Kalisha's fine. Kalisha is absolutely fine. And I feel like that's why she gets away with what she gets away with. But at the end of the day, Matt, she's actually in California.
I know that, yeah. No, she's a good-looking woman, whatever, but she's just too bad that her brains is completely lip-hearted out,
This is Cindy Stumpo.
I mean,
I gotta
on
please
stage,
do your mic out.
on stage, if you ever catch her in private rooms or if you talk to her, outside of Clubhouse, she's actually pretty chill.
I have 10 construction sites going right now, and not one Mexican is at that fucking construction site because Donald Trump, ICE, and this MAGA movement have completely restricted my economic freedom of ruining people's lives by paying them pennies on the dollar so I can build my real estate empire. And Nelson, he's my little baby boy. Oh, Nelson, I nursed Nelson from my teat myself. Anyways, what I want to say is we can't have any kings in this country. And yesterday's protests around the United States with millions of people gathering, all my Mexicans were there. Not one Mexican at the work site. I gave them all the day off. But Monday morning, you know where they're going to be because they are the hardest working, most ethical, dedicated people this country has ever known. And without Mexican labor, I'd have nothing.
Dubs, do you think a lot of people aren't who they are off the app? Like, like you said, Alicia in private, she actually probably sounds somewhat normal. But, like, you get her on a big stage like IGB and Lou Fax's stage, then she just turned into something completely different, right? Did the app glitch? Anybody hear me or no?
No, you're good.
Okay, you stepped away. I just think a lot of people change it up a bit, depending on where they are.
Oh no, nobody on Clubhouse would shapeshift. What are you doing?
All right.
Hey, Biden's gone. Ever since the election, I've not seen him. Wasn't
No,
that guy you were making?
he's still
making an
around.
impression of? He had 9 vaccines.
I don't know, but Thugger Biden, the elitist, obnoxious know-it-all, he's still here. I still see this goat floating around.
Really?
Yeah, very limited
He just
engagements.
goes places where he can't. There's no chance of being challenged.
Oh, so he hangs around in the new improved Democratic Party, or okay.
Yeah, I
Wait,
heard.
who are we talking about? He's on over
Go
there.
Isaiah.
He's definitely, yeah, he's definitely hidden away. He's definitely not hanging around us,
No, he doesn't like crow. He told me it doesn't taste good.
I heard him recently.
What? Remember the other guy, the environmentalist, Aaron Berger? He's gone.
Yeah.
No.
Is he?
Still here.
Oh no,
I just don't know where to find them. They're like cockroaches. Like really?
Yeah, he's politically correct all the time.
Yeah, you have to get a new burner account, and then you'll get anonymous. Don't click on anybody's profile because then they can block you. And there you go. You'll see all the rooms and all the people that you think you're missing out on. They're still here. This app is called No Exit.
No, I was still wondering about Doug Biden when he said that he makes $750,000 a year and he sends his kids to a private school at $75,000 a year, but he still drives like a Honda minivan.
Yeah, meanwhile, the most expensive school in his state isn't said $70,000 a year.
Yeah, how's that possible, Adams?
Is he flying his kids, out of state every day on a private jet?
Dr. Adams, you're a Jew, cool.
Shalom.
If you don't believe in these vaccines, then you don't believe in science, and you are stupid.
And you are black. I didn't say that.
No, I remember when he told me that Biden was going to win by the largest victory ever. He was going to win every single swing state, and he said Trump was only going to win 3 states. Yeah, I'm still waiting on those results.
I can't decide which one is worse, Goat or Thugga, because Goat was kind of parodying the same nonsense,
That's the thing, and I told Thugga a week before. I said, look, don't believe these polls. Remember what he said, no, Kamala's polling. And I told Thugga, I said, watch these swing states, because that's really what matters. No, he's like, Biden's going to win every one. He goes, maybe Trump might get one, and he's going to get a clean sweep of the Senate and the House. I don't think so. The polls aren't accurate. He's like, no, you're going to see. He's going to have the largest margin of victory, or Kamala Harris is going to have the largest margin of victory ever. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah, it was wild, because even Bieber and myself were, Goat was coming up with data, that just didn't make sense at all. It was such gaslighting stuff coming from him. It was so obvious. Bieber and I were literally letting him know that Trump was probably going to take all swing states and the guy was just not having it. He was flipping out about it. I mean, it was incredible because you could look at the data fairly well in different counties and get a general idea, right? So just the fact that the pushback was just crazy.
And I honestly, Matt, I didn't think he was going to win every single swing state. I thought he was going to get most of them, but I was 50-50 here in my home state in Michigan. But see, we elected a Marxist senator, but we still picked Trump. Because at the end of the day, I told everyone, they vote with their wallets. It was like the same thing in 2008. John McCain didn't have a chance against Obama. Let's just face it, whether you liked Obama, hated Obama, it was just the economy was in shambles, and that's what I think happened with Harris. Well, there's other things that she's a fucking wretched human being and completely worthless and had no business being there, but they could have somewhat saved themselves.
They couldn't help themselves. She was just an awful candidate. I just don't understand any of that. But Nick, I didn't ever ask you, who would you have had your choice on that side besides obviously Kamala Harris and Biden? I'm assuming maybe Biden, but anybody else you would have picked? I don't even know.
I would think of Cory Booker, but he's a little crazy.
He's the fucking worst.
If you picked like a Manchin, he doesn't. He's more like moderate left.
Yeah, he's really moderate, but he could pull it off probably. Keep going, yeah. I like to hear this viewpoint because it's kind of more rational. Go for it.
A Booker or like a Manchin. And there's one that's actually somewhat decent out of Colorado. I think it's a congressperson. Or maybe that's just the governor that's a little sane there. He wasn't
Hickenlooper or whatever guy, that guy?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But I think that, unfortunately, they'll get Michigan's governor running for President Whitmer. You'll see.
Do you feel like Vance has been a little bit lackluster, so to speak?
Adams, and I think the reason is he's younger. This is kind of his like first big role in politics. So I think it just have to give him some time. But yeah, it's been lackluster.
Midterms is going to be interesting. I'm sure we're going to see the same people making the case for the blue wave or whatever they always do. So, I don't know. Midterms is going to be interesting.
Well, McConnell's gone, or if he doesn't die before that.
Sure.
Unfortunately, Nasty Pelosi's there. Same thing with Maxine Waters. So we're stuck with those parasites.
I think Maxine Waters has dementia, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, see, and see, this is the danger of, bringing people into Congress and the Senate. I feel like that should have age limits. I'm sorry, like people are having a conversation about, the presidency. Congress and the Senate, they should definitely have age limits.
How can her constituents be that stupid? I mean, how can these voters keep voting Maxine Waters? What the fuck do they think?
Because they're Latino, and see, this is the thing. Like that's mainly the reason why Maxine Waters was showing up in Los Angeles and doing the things that she was doing. The good majority of her area, Gardena, for example, Matt, Gardena is primarily Latino. The good consensus of her constituency are Latinos. So, I mean, the fact that black people keep cheering Maxine Waters on, black people are not the reason why Maxine Waters is in office.
But Adams, she doesn't even live in her district, right? Doesn't she live in Beverly Hills or Orange County?
No, she lives in Hancock Park. So, yeah, like Hancock Park is actually closer to where I live than where her actual district is. Like her actual district is going out towards like Gardena and part of like the South Bay area.
Okay.
You're right. How does she keep being elected? Let's keep going with that. Good.
Because because like I was in Torrance a couple years ago, and like Gardina's not far. I mean, it is a shithole there, and I think she keeps getting elected because they have to be rigging the elections, or like I know with New York they have ranked voting, so they can rig elections.
Well, I don't think that's completely out of the realm. I mean, I think it's fair to say that Adams and I have been saying that California is completely rigged. I mean, so if you're going with that, theory, I'm on board with it. I mean, why not? California is completely nutty, and why wouldn't they figure out how to put their own in? Just completely rig it. Why not? Which Republic is gonna check them, right? Like, where's the safety check on that the things are going right in California, right?
Right. Well, like Jerry Brown screwed up L.A. back in whatever the 70s or 80s. Then he got governor position, and then he came back and got reelected. I mean, and Edmund was telling me in Chicago they actually elected someone worse than Lori Lighthead.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting how Maxine Waters is the chair of the House Financial Services Committee. It's almost like, if you want absolutely no oversight, she's the bitch to, get in there. So, I mean, she's as corrupt as they get. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Right, and so, no wonder she is going after this whole immigration issue. That's it. Do you know how much money people are making over this bullshit?
She could retire from Congress and probably get appointed CEO of Goldman Sachs. That's how fucking much bullshit she's probably allow go on and completely cover things up. I mean, have you ever seen her ask questions to Chairman Jerome Powell? It's like she has absolutely no concept whatsoever about anything. So I don't know. It's just all right out in front of you, and you realize you live in clown world, and that we have clown leaders in the most powerful positions in this government. But I don't know, transparency is now. Like, we're exposing these things, we're becoming aware of these things consciously. People are hopefully waking up and organizing and taking action to fight back against clown world.
Yeah, but what about Ilham Omar, AOC?
They're all being primaried. These people, but they have so much money in their back. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can go to Open Secrets and see who funds them. You can see who funds AOC and Ilhan, and it's the same corporations funding all these other vaccinologists and scam artists. I mean, people are bought and paid for by these lobbyists.
Well, also look at Karen Bass herself. I mean, she's a radical. She's about as radical. If you look into her past, her ties are Marxist to the core. I mean, she is a radical. That is her training. It is no surprise that she is where she's at, and I think just the mere fact of her past should have been disqualifying. But here we are.
But remember the 80s? Marion Barry got caught smoking crack with a hooker, and they reelected him, and they claimed that he was a victim and set up. Gavin Newsom had to take a leave of absence to get alcohol treatment. So, I mean, people still elected him.
Look at Kamala. She was dating, what was that mayor's name? Willie Willis? Or what was the guy from San Francisco?
Willie Brown. Sweet Dick Willie Brown, man.
Willie Brown.
I don't know. You can't cover up stupid now. Cell phones have changed everything. It's changed everything. But all these people are just content creators. That's all they do. It doesn't matter left or right, conservative, liberal. It doesn't matter. Everybody's just creating these clips now. And that's part of the problem. There's no real leadership. It's just content creators. Karen Bass, on top of it, with Father's Day, look at her recent tweet. I feel bad for all the fathers today who won't get to spend time with their children because they've been deported for being illegal aliens. It's just a content creation game, but there's no real leadership, and it's just clown world.
The this no king stuff is like maybe we need to be more strong on militaries. And I know Nick might not want to hear this, but we might need not to have another side. I'm starting to think like the king idea might just work out. You know what I mean? That's where I'm going with this, because if they get power in any form, I think they could just completely destroy this country. So I think it's almost like it's the first one to get there at this point. Like, who can get to be a king? I'm gonna go there and just say it, because like, okay, you guys said you're no kings, but maybe we're gonna have to have one because you guys are just completely out of control.
But Chairman Powell is basically the president of the Banking Federation. And when he says we don't issue Congress fiscal advice and we don't want monetary policy advice from Congress. So we have this huge divide, which is a separation between we the people and really like the global banking industrial class. And these people are radical revolutionary Marxists. Chairman Powell is probably a patriotic American who doesn't like these people. But again, that separation of powers, or, you know, I don't know. I think it's possible to say there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe. We just have to eliminate bad people. You know, that's what it comes down to.
That's true. I'm not saying everybody's perfect. Obviously, the government, got a lot of issues just on both sides and all that. Yeah.
Matt, do you ever stop and like just stop these people when they start bitching about Musk and how much money he's bought the presidency? These same people I've never heard mention Bloomberg's name and the sheer amount of money he's given. Not once, because it's different. It's Democrat. It's just different.
Yeah, rich people are a fan
of big money in politics.
George Soros. Yeah.
Right. I'm not actually a fan of it because we get to this point, right? But it's the type of hypocrisy for me. Like, you've got a problem with Musk, but your money that's different. I've got a big fucking problem with this. And that's just one area of hypocrisy. And the whole king bullshit. Again, we vote here. I don't know of any time we have ever not voted and installed a king. The ridiculousness of even that slogan is super funny. Because the fact that Trump trolled them and then they pick up this mantle and it still only works on the left. It still only works on them. I mean, they have no idea. Because then you get the immigration bullshit. And I'm like, you know, if you haven't been out here for decades protesting, I think you're not a serious, genuine person. I think you were told by your overlords to be big mads, and Trump is doing something that has never been done before, and that just isn't true. Obama fast-tracked nearly 75% of all deportations, millions of people. He actually deported U.S. citizens. He did. He expanded deportation powers. Biden lost thousands and thousands of migrant children, likely a lot of them trafficked at this point. And not a word. Obama built cages for children. But they weren't Hitler. I don't know why, but apparently they weren't Hitler. So we just got like a new Hitler just suddenly. I don't know.
And the only reason why that never was exposed in that way is because they didn't have the media doing it. You know what I mean? Like, the only reason why Trump is getting so much crap is because the media's out to get him, right? Like Obama was way worse on these things.
I hate to tell you, but there's like a coup going on. There's an attempt to overthrow this president. And if you tell enough stupid fucking people, oh, he's deporting people without due process, but don't add the fact that that has been the status quo for decades, and that no serious politician has really done anything about immigration reform? Nobody. I mean, even today, do you hear any of these wackos talking about they're crafting legislation, we're gonna fix this? They're not serious about it. Brown people are a political football. In fact, it's worse than that. They are needed to gerrymander. They are needed. They are wanted to do the very thing. Great, they don't vote. They don't care that they don't vote. They go into census numbers. They don't care if they don't vote.
I worked at the census, and I heard a lot of backroom door conversations, and even the people that work at the census, these are legacy career criminals that do the bidding for the Democrats, and literally they bend over backwards to fudge numbers, create fake information. The whole thing is one Democrat industrial complex.
Actually scary.
I mean, I think it's possible that, Trump does declare martial law and, makes arrests of these people in these criminal sanctuary cities. Pritzker was begging. He said, "Go ahead, arrest me. I'll be out within hours."
You know that.
They want it because they know that that's going to play for their political run. Yeah.
To get a civil war. They really will over this.
Well, everybody's vying for political power. Newsom, Pritzker, all these people are trying to do is create controversy to center themselves, to create the content so they can use it in their propaganda marketing to try to become president.
Did, right?
Who?
Lydia marched in there, all tough guys, tough chest, marching up at a 100-pound woman on a podium. I've got questions. During a live press conference, this wasn't a Q&A. This was not some sort of, hey, let's have an official meeting. Wasn't that. He was asked to leave. He didn't. Puts hands on law enforcement, and now Trump's the bad guy, or she needs to resign. That was intended. That was purposeful. The cameras are rolling. That was planned. That was completely planned.
Oh, good afternoon, Al.
Greetings.
Yeah, what's going on?
Getting ready to go catch some trout. What are you doing?
Catch some trout? What are you, a fishing boat?
Motherfucking trout. No, fly fishing. I'm not.
Well, fly fishing.
People love fly fishing. My sister's boyfriend loves it.
What do you?
Fly fishing's fun. It's just sort of it's.
What do you do for work there, Al?
I don't know. You're writing a book.
Adam's your friend Jarl left?
He's getting pegged right now.
He's on the phone, but yeah, he's getting pegged.
Sorry to hear that.
I can't believe, Charles, the nerve of him just to go up on stage and say all men love being pegged. My mouth dropped, Al. I was like, what is going on around here?
I'm like, hey, listen, do you, but for real, I don't know any men I know in my life that are like, God, I love getting pegged.
Daniel, I'm assuming you don't like getting pegged. I just want to say to Eric. What's that?
That's disgusting.
Alright, just double checking.
You're making it sound like maybe you.
But, I mean, to be quite truthful, I don't really care what people do in the bedrooms. I really don't care. But this whole suggestion of, all men love it, they actually don't. That's not true.
I mean, you think these women in these porno videos who are being rammed up their ass actually also enjoy what they're doing?
Oh, look at their face. They're fucking bleeding for a week. Are you shitting me right now?
They have to fucking, those porn stars, it's almost like going, before you go for surgery, they don't, eat food and shit. It's when they're, deep throating or doing whatever to their buttholes, it's, they won't, puke.
What about the puking porn videos where they, I'm like, what has happened to people?
People just have, I think just, there's this, mainstream porn, and then people, maybe will focus on different parts of it, and there'll be, one thing, they'll get a fetish.
To stop promoting
there's one part of porn they might really like, so...
Hey, you know what, if you got a puke fetish, I don't know, that's on a whole other level.
See, doesn't this come down to what you actually consume, in terms of media? And so those are very fringe. But what I'm trying to say is reverse engineer the media you consume. And if you want to improve your life, you essentially have to be aware of what the fuck you're listening to, what you're looking at, what you're saying. So this app is like a good training ground to focus your life's energies on what really matters. And all these liberal rooms, all these propagandists, all this political bullshit in this app, that in itself is low grade quality, porn. I mean, these people are essentially spammers, and it's all spam. So it's a spam industrial complex. And if you really want to make your life better, you have to be a part of the manufacturing of spam and limit your diet. It's just like exercise and diet and education.
Hey, Edmund, have you been in any of the really special rooms today in particular about they're just feeling really sad for Iran. They're really sad that big bad Israel, is taking out nuclear facilities in Iran, and just this is terrible. And those poor people. I'm like, have you talked to any Iranians? Have you listened to any Iranians? They
I
want to
know.
be free.
They're angry at their government. They hate their government.
And have been for a fucking long time.
And when an Iranian comes on here,
Thanking
yeah, they
Israel
can't
for
stand
taking
it.
out the fucking trash.
When an Iranian comes on here and tells the truth about their government, these Jew-hating pieces of shit go bananas. They can't stand to hear anyone voice their truth.
Oh, sure, a nuclear Iran, that'd be swell. What could be the problem? I mean, they've already got Houthis, Hezbollah, funding terror across the globe. Imagine with some nukes. That sounds swell. These fucking idiots. And it's all because George man bad. If Biden did it, we would be noble and brave, and we've got to take care. We can't have a nuclear Iran.
If Kamala was president, you do realize we would be going in. Like, we would already have boots on the ground in Iran if Kamala was president and Tim Walz was president. This is what makes me so sick about these people, is they are so two-faced and so shifty and so despicable. It's just ruthless, profiteering people. If Kamala and Tim Walz were president VP, we would already be in Tehran.
100%.